Do you miss playing Dungeons & Dragons, or just have a hard time finding a group in your hometown? Maybe you just wish you could play more. On Discord, we created a community of over 100 people who are playing D&D around the clock. By integrating Discord and D&D Beyond, we're able to provide an immersive experience that is the first of its kind. You can create a character from 1st to 15th level, and then roleplay 24/7 in our Discord channels while combating monsters, crafting weapons, training new skills, and searching for items across our campaign world. You'll also have the chance to participate in random combat encounters and go on monthly virtual quests. Ever wanted to try your hand at being a Dungeon Master? Or maybe you're an experienced Dungeon Master and just want the chance to run more adventures. As a community DM, you can run encounters and virtual quests for the community based on monthly modules written by our very own accomplished plot team. Join us.
Join us.
Check it out. Join the Discord.
Join us!
Join us.
And let's create incredible stories together.
Is the money really worth all this?
It's not about the credits. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I bet you have.
You're not getting the drop on the villains with sounds like that. Your game needs Sirenscape. The Sirenscape online player has a huge library of epic sounds for any situation. Epic games need epic sound. Go to Sirenscape.com to get started today.
Hey, Dr. Dane at Cream Tattoo Supply here. Do you need a remedy for your corporate gouging woes and your tattoo supplies? Well, I'm here to tell you, I've got the solution. We've got cream cartridges. And I know what you're saying. Hey, Dr. Dane, is it gonna cost a lot? It's not gonna cost a lot. It's gonna cost just the right amount. Economically friendly. Do you want to support a tattooer-owned and operated business? I know I do. Head on over to creamtattoosupply.com or come to our storefront at 1102 East Prospect Street in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Dr. Dane never has or never will be a doctor. If you or someone you love has been affected by monopoly tattoo companies, please go to creamtattoosupply.com for your supply acquisitions.
It is said that the ancient Forge Masters would infuse a part of their souls into their creations, imbuing courage, strength, and grace with each strike of the hammer. But somewhere, deep in a dwarven hall, the last of the Forge Masters is hard at work.
What is up, party people, and welcome aboard the Incubus. My name's Chad Rowe, and I'm so amazingly hyped to be here and have the opportunity to play this game with this amazing group of people. To give the quickest rundown of what we're making here so we can get right into our first session, we've gathered some amazing group of people, of talented artists and our friends, to come together and play as traveling tattoo artists in the world of Eberron. I've been a forever DM for the past 15 years and a professional tattoo artist for the last 8. And this table, we've snagged some of the most talented and nerdy tattooers I know and our token shop hand to adventure in the world of Eberron inside a magical tattoo caravan. If you wonderful people could go around and introduce yourself, starting with...
Oh, I'm Kelly Steverson. I'm playing Magvar, the Warforged Tempest Cleric and Wizard.
I'm Beth Cupples, and I will be playing Yokai, which is a rogue, changeling, charlatan, arcane trickster. My charisma's 100.
100%.
My name is Andy Large, and I'm playing Mickey. I'm a artillerist artificer.
Nice.
My name is Frank Reddy, and I am playing Knarf Yadair, a Minotaur bard who broke from tradition to live a life less rooted in the suffocating drabness of solely living by the blade.
I'm Kassidy Norman, and I am playing Dara Darkspane, the half-elf paladin.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, and before we get into the game, I'd like to go ahead and thank our sponsors who's made this all possible. So first, huge thank you to Dungeons & Dragons just for making a game that we've all been able to enjoy for such a long time, and so many people at home and that just get to enjoy this world that we get to create stories in. So, and to our title sponsor, Beetle and Grimm, thank you so much. During this episode, we are going to be giving away actually the gold edition Eberron box from Beetle and Grimm. Amazing group of people. So we're going to be putting a code that you guys can put into the chat. You type the code once. If you enter it more than once, then you will be disqualified. And that code is Beetle and Grimm's. Second title sponsor, I really want to thank Ink Addict, an amazing group of people that make a ton of different merchandise, of t-shirts, hoodies, and everything like that. And we've been fortunate enough that they've made a lot of our merchandise that we've had the possibility and the opportunity to make the artwork individually with each artist, to collaborate with them. You can go ahead and go into the description and check out where you can get your own shirt, such as Frank's over here, or my own, as well as we'll be seeing some throughout the games. If you sign up for their email and or you text, you will get a code for 10% off for your first order. They also set up a promo code for 20% off, and it's IncubusCrit. So, also, massive thanks to Forged Gaming, who have made these amazing dice specifically for the Incubus. You can go to their website and check those out. They've also, provided and made custom dice trays for us. And honestly, these things are so dope. I love these.
They really are.
So cool.
Can I roll one just for fun?
Yeah, 100%. Let's see.
All right.
Nice.
11s.
All right. Starting off hot. Wait.
7-11.
I see what you did there. Hey.
That's lucky. That's good.
Really lucky.
Off to a good start.
So, also, if you go to a link in the chat, you can see how you could possibly get an opportunity to win a dice and dice tray. I also want to thank Hero Forged for providing the minis that we've made for the show for all the cast and a lot of the ones that you'll be seeing. Also, shout out to Cream Tattoo Supply and our friend Dane Smith and the amazing group over there. That's definitely tattoo oriented, but seeing our two favorite things, tattooing and D&D, come together and seeing the worlds collide is an amazing. So thank you, Dane, for all of that. Also, Sirenscape for providing the sound and allowing us to be fully immersed into this world in the best way possible. So thank you guys. And also, thank you to RealmSmith for bringing us all together, allowing us to be part of the team, and truly making us feel like family. And this has already been such an amazing experience. So thank you, Jason and RealmSmith, for just allowing us and welcoming us so much with open arms. Also, to the Smith Guardians, the RealmSmith Watchers, you guys are awesome. Like, you guys make this possible by, tuning in and, liking, subscribing, and all that stuff. Be sure to continue to do that, to subscribe, share, leave a comment, all the cool stuff, and tell your friends about it. So, now, also, I want to say one more thing before we get really into this. To set the tone of agency, like right off the bat, we're going to put some stakes into your rolls. The first person to roll a natural 20 is going to get a super dope D20 tattoo by one of us. So you're going to get a choose.
Okay.
On the latter side, the first person to roll a natural 1 gets a wonderful tattoo by our very own Kassidy Norman. Who, spoiler alert, is not a tattoo artist. So we're going to see how that all turns out. And so...
Better roll hot. I'm telling you right now. So if I roll a nat 1, do I have to tattoo myself?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Immediate? Yes.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. Yes.
All right.
And, I don't know about you guys. I hate tattooing myself.
No, it's the worst.
No,
I'm the worst
absolutely.
client I could possibly have.
Yep.
Yeah, I tattooed myself like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, not gonna do it. So I started just buying pig ears and just tattooing those and just putting them in jars.
Oh,
Exactly.
I just tattooed pigs.
It's not right. That was a joke.
Oh my god!
I was confused. It's okay.
I was confused. All right, so now let the adventure begin. To give you guys all a look into the world of Eberron and to fully immerse it, the world of Eberron has a rich history built on heroic deeds, evolving magic, and the wounds of a long, devastating war. Action, adventure, good, evil, and 1,000 shades of gray paint the landscape in a broad stroke. Ancient mysteries await in discovery so they can influence the world and its people. Magic is built into the very fabric of Eberron. It pervades everyday life. It provides comforts, convenience, unknown in either modern world or any other world of medieval fantasy. Lightning rails powered by magical dragon shards, sky ships being locomotively driven by elementals, and many other advances made possible by the blooming magical technology. Family powers have taken over the world and an economic frontier thanks to the edge given to them by the mysterious and rare dragon marks. It's people harnessing magic as a tool to build cities, sail ships through the skies, and to create both wonders and weapons. Heroes and villains come in all shapes, sizes, and anything you can imagine. All classes and race, and nothing is black and white. A beholder may be a babysitter, and a mind flayer may be a professor at a college, and your friendly neighbor may be secretly stacking bodies in his basement for a dark ritual. Eberron embraces swashbuckling action and a pulp adventure while adding a layer of noir intrigue. The last war turned old allies into bitter enemies and destroyed an entire nation, Sire, leaving behind terrible scars. Crime and corruption lurk in the great cities of Corvair. Hidden dragons shape the course of history, and sinister fiends influence the dreams of the unweary. Yet mortal greed and ambition might prove more dangerous than any dragon or fiend. We first look deeper into Eberron, into the deserting lands of Velenar, as the winds of the desert throw sand into the side of the caravan on the road. 2 steel steeds, locomotive, and drive forward, seemingly a standard-looking traveling wagon down a sandstone road. Along the side of the bus says a singular word, tattoos. As we look into the window from the outside, there's a couple boxes and barrels inside. But as light travels past the window, we take a look first into the pocket dimension of a room beyond the veil where we meet our first artist, a product and a survivor of the last war. Magvar, what is seen as the light is peering through your bedroom window?
Well, Magvar's a tinkerer. He's a crafter. He builds things. He likes to understand how things work so that he can better understand himself and how he works. He tonight, as many other nights, has been working late into and through the evening. He notices what time it is, and there's a window in his station, which is a stark station with just an uncomfortable looking tattoo area, wooden chair with hard edges, definitely has no understanding what it is like to have flesh that sits upon a seat. And on the other side is a crafts bench. And in between the two is a lone warforged sitting on a lonely stool. Magvar is a tall, lithe warforged whose body is asymmetrical. On the left side, there's polished and worn but loved reflective metal and dark woods. And on the right side of his body, there are scars and pocks and slumped metal, pieces of charred wood, as if he had been the victim of some sort of large fire or magical conflagration. And his right arm is a massively oversized, mismatched, heavily armor-plated appendage that looks nothing like the left side of his body. As the light comes through the window that's in his room, he becomes aware of what time it is, and he stands up from the stool, and there's a mirror on the wall, and he adjusts it to the side a little bit and sits back down on the stool, and he turns out all the lights in his station. And as the light is coming through, he turns to the right a little bit so that his left side is facing the mirror. And for a moment, before Shy's blue lights kick on, the portion of his body that was mangled, for lack of a better word, is just in silhouette. And the light that comes in from the window just sort of lights up the portion of him that remains the same. And in his mind and in his eyes, he gets a view of the warforged that once was and should have been.
As you start to see the sun come through, and you realize, looking through, it's almost you get warm seeing almost the perfected version of yourself prior, just in the mirror. As the light starts to seep over to the other side, and you're reminded of what you've been through, you start to hear the sound of steps coming down. Slowly. As a moment goes by, a woman walks through the threshold of the shop. Oh, it's nice to see you here again early. As what we see is a probably 70 to 80-year-old woman. She seems, pretty well put together despite, time. She's wearing long sleeve black shirt. She has a long black dress on. She has a bandolier that goes across her torso of different tattoo machines with crystals that are embedded in them. On her back is this affixed technology that she always has when she's getting ready to work. It's a lantern that sits in front of her that is perfect for whenever she's tattooing, doing art. And on her hand, you see a dragon mark. Now, just iridescent, as she reaches up. Let's go ahead and get it started, Magvar. She reaches up, grabs the lamp to her right, and twists it, and a blue light emerges. And just in your booth, and as all of you start to experience, in whatever state of awakening or not, a blue light starts to take over the room. She goes over to 2 gargoyles sitting at the entrance. One's holding a lute, and the other one has just a percussion drum. And she kind of gives them a snap, snap, and all of a sudden just some rhythmic music starts to play within them. And as the music starts to carry up the stairs, Dara, what are you doing as you start to hear and see the light? You know, it's about time for work.
So Dara has been spending the morning laying in her cot in her very small, comfortable room. She's been journaling, writing in a animal skin leather journal, while she, thinks about what's been coming up for the day, what's to come. Next to her is a just small table with one drawer that holds her journal. And there are 2 figurines that are carved of 2 women. And there is a coat hanger with her cloak. And as she sees the blue light illuminate the room, she looks over and catches a glimpse of several drawings of poinsettias that are tacked together on her wood panel walls. And as she notices the light, she gives a big sigh, closes her journal, and tucks it away in the very back of her drawer, and grabs a flask that rests in a holster on her thigh, and just brings it up and takes a big swig, brushes her lip, and stands up, gets her cloak on, and gets ready to come downstairs.
Okay. As the light starts to emerge and the sound starts to get more in a concerto, Mickey, what are you doing as the day begins? The light's turned on. You know what that means. You've been here the longest of everybody. What's that day look like for you?
Mickey wakes up from what was a really long night of tinkering and working. The light actually kind of makes his eyes kind of open and glares. He rubs his scruffy, unshaven face, and he stands up and stretches his long human body out and kind of groans. He looks around his room, which is covered in all sorts of drawings, tattoo sketches, sketches of machines, all different unique ones. Some resemble tattoo machines, some resemble more uniquely Victorian-style pistols with lots of flourishes and little components. There's diagrams, some have scribbles, some of them are scribbled all over with curses and torn up on the floor. And there's really one big drawing in the center of the mall that seems to have the most finish and is broken down into sections with lists and measurements.
Interesting.
There's very few personal possessions in his room, but he does have a large trunk with a few pictures. One of them is a tall, sad-looking man, a woman with her eyes covered with a red cloth who is pregnant and holding her stomach, and a young, fairly young-looking Mickey, about 15 years old, and you can see his copper hair pushed up high in his head, and he's a sad look in his eyes. He looks around his room, kind of rustles through a couple of his components on his table, and he picks up the machines for the shop. It's Mickey's job in the shop to keep the machines going, making sure everything's working tight, the springs are nice and sharp, and the needles are nice and bouncy.
Nice and bouncy.
I like my needles.
You gotta make sure the needles are bouncy.
Yeah.
I hate it when they don't bounce.
Pro tips. Guys.
Pro tips, make sure needles
From
bounce.
professional tattooers that definitely know what they're doing all the time.
He checks the needles for quality. He uses a little eye loop and makes sure they're all sharp and exactly the way that he prepared them the night before.
Oh, you found one as you're going through with your eye loop. You don't know if it brushed against another one or not, but you bring your eye loop up and there's like a 9 mag and one of them just have like a hook at the end of it.
Gotta go.
Gotta go? Just toss it.
Toss it.
All right. That was a little bit of work. This soldering that you got on your fingers from doing that, yeah, useless.
Quality control. Mickey gets the machines in his hand and he goes downstairs and starts hanging them up at everybody's station, making sure everybody has the tools that they need for the day. Each station, each machine kind of reflects all of his crewmates. Eventually he makes his way to his station, which is pretty similar to his room. It's neatly organized with lots of drawings and metal pieces and tinkering tools all over. He takes his coat that's on his workbench and he puts it on and pulls a scarf out of a drawer and wraps it tight around his neck and sits on a table and gets to work tining machines and continuing the work that never ends.
All right, as you come down, you immediately almost, I mean, you and Magvar have almost become in sync at this point. You guys know how you work, and it's almost like passing by one another. You know, you're making sure the needles are and the machines are where they need to go. You're making sure that everything is in the exact spot it needs to be. Even your chair, it was a 1/4 inch off, got to move it right back.
Everything very, very slowly, not touching anything else as he moves it.
And thanks to you all doing supply run, you see Hellbent, who is at the front, and she has taken the new manticore spines, and she has, over the time, went and shaved them and put them at the end of some needle bars that she needs, and has affixed them in a more traditional fashion so that she can continue to do her magical tattoos. While that's happening, you two have come down. Dara, you come down at the same time. You see the two early birds already kind of getting at it, and they're organizing stuff. Your front desk is sitting up there. You go up and you organize the paperwork that you need done. You go and you kick on a lantern that you keep up there. And then Yokai, you know, you've heard a couple of footsteps winding down the span. Now, what is it you are doing this morning?
I recognize the footsteps immediately and individually as I'm kind of sitting quietly on the floor of my room, which is rather bare. I have a large, comfortable bedroll. I prefer to sit or lay on the floor at any given time, and kind of sitting in the center of the room. My like long, kind of flowing white hair kind of drapes around me as like my pale skin is kind of splotched in speckles, like bits of like kind of ever-changing flesh tones as I'm in this kind of meditative state. And I'm thinking of something I think of every morning, which is all of the people that have wronged me. And one name stands out in my mind that I think of constantly is I am consumed almost to the point of being detrimental, in fact, of getting the revenge that I feel I am so deserved. I'm trying to keep most of these thoughts kind of lucid and moving around my mind as there's these kind of ghostly looking fish with long kind of carp tails that swirl around me, and the gentle hum of this ritual of meditation I do every morning, and I kind of hear this thump, 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 and I kind of, and you see the tails of the fish kind of flicker as I like try to keep myself together again, and then I hear the louder thump, thump, and then I see the light come on kind of like with one eye opened, completely pale and pupilless, and I focus again, and then I hear Hellbent talking, and I just go, and I kind of dismiss all of these little things, and the humming stops, and right before I stand up, I kind of tip my head back and change myself into a much plainer looking human with kind of dark hair. It kind of shrinks a little up to my shoulders, and my eyes assume kind of a normal bluish tone, and I stand up and kind of look around, and I snap my fingers a couple times, and things kind of seem to roll them up, and the bed kind of makes itself, and little bits of scrap paper that I had been doodling on the night before kind of crumpled themselves up and put them into a little pile that's very large, just nothing but just crap drawings.
Mouse, I wish my crap drawings would throw themselves away.
Please pile yourselves over there.
If you can take care of that, that'd be great.
Light themselves on fire. Yeah, it's just a tiny trash fire every week. No smoke detectors, boss. And I kind of begrudgingly take a small cloak that I have and tie it around and kind of fix myself up and begin to head downstairs.
All right. So you make your way down, and you're met with the very familiar smell that, you know, you kind of get nose blind to when it comes to tattoo shops. You know, but every now and again it hits your nose, and you're like, that's green soap. And that is the smell of my day starting. The smell of green soap, some A&D, and around that time, as the aroma starts to go up, our newest adventure on the Incubus, you know, this is all new to you. You smell a very strong, you know, cleanliness smell, met with almost like a medical procedure as it comes and seeps into your room. You hear the sound of people moving around, and you kind of get really scared because, you know this is the first day that you might get to work. You don't know if you're tattooing, you don't know what's happening, but this is the first day and you're not the first one down there. So, what are you doing, Knarf, as this starts to happen?
I am painting, as I often do. My room is an amalgamation of my travels over the past 45 years. Sand lines the floor to remind me of my home, Droman. A hollowed-out yew tree sits in the back left corner opposite the door. In the right corner sits a 10-foot-tall, yet slender scrying mirror made of obsidian that I won in a game of dragon chess from some unfortunate soul whose eyes were much bigger than his cunning. Painting easels of various sizes dance around the room, all vying for my attention in hopes of becoming a more complete version of themselves. Truth be told, a finished painting feels like a stifling destination for me, as my eyes are always depicting the journey ahead.
I use that excuse too when I don't finish my paintings.
That's the problem.
A little bit of me in there, all right?
Yeah.
As the blue light comes on, everything changes for me. Everything that I know is now vanished, and I'm nervous, but ready, I think.
Okay, so as you start to come down the stairs, what is seen? What is your attire like?
What is my attire like?
Yeah.
I am still in my painting smock, so a little bit of a blue linen robe basically, and I've got a burlap tie around me that's always covered in paint. If it's not paint, it might be blood sometimes, depending on what I'm wearing, but I'm always a little messy. Still paintbrush in hand, this 6-foot-tall minotaur hooved with horns that make me a full 7 feet when I stand up properly. Mm-hmm. And coming down the stairs with the clop, 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 you will never not know that I am there.
All right, so being the second from last, as you come downstairs, you're quickly followed by Yokai, who comes after hearing your very loud stomping. As you guys are starting to move in collaboration, correlation, you guys see that Hellbent, she gathers her needles together, she puts them down, she makes her entire setup. As she looks around, she goes, well, is everybody ready to start for the day? We've made it to Griffinclaw. It's gonna be busy. Very busy. I used to frequent here a lot, and a lot of people know of the Incubus, and so I hope that you guys all have an amazing time making tattoos here, and don't fuck it up for me, okay? Mickey? Look. I know a very affluent person here. Please, represent us well if you go to town, okay? Might be worth a check. It is a museum of the artistic nature that we like to do. It's called Biblio Tattoo. Honestly, he's kind of brash. I would not recommend it, but it's worth checking out. It's got some cool stuff. All right, it's time for business. Is everybody ready?
Yes, Hellbent.
All right. So you all watch as she goes and she grabs the bifold that says Incubus, and it seems that it has like little canisters on the side. It's like little sandwich board. And you see her from this very large room that you guys are in. It's got black and red checkered floors. There's 6 stations that are fixed around. The 2 gargoyles sitting up front, a small, medium, I said them all. Medium-sized, a mall lobby up front, right in front of the front desk. You see her kind of walk out. As she opens the door, it goes to the beautiful outside of the deserts of Elenar. You see her take a couple steps. She unfolds it, plates it down. You see her crack her back, and it's way too loud. You guys should not hear it all the way in the bus, honestly.
I think Dara hears that and perks up and maybe moves to maybe help her set up the sign.
Thank you, Dara. Stand back a little bit. As you see her fire in the hole. as all of a sudden it just canisters of fireworks just start taking off out of it, and it just starts rocketeering and crashing. She's like, they'll be coming soon, so I'm gonna get to work. As you see her, it's not quickly, but it's quickly for Hellbent as she starts to shuffle up to the 4 steps, and as you look on towards the outside, you see the very familiar, regular-sized caravan. It's bigger on the inside. So, as we're getting in, what's your guys' routine as you guys are starting to get around to your days of work?
Well, Dara, she looks at the checklist of things to do today. She has her feathered pen and is kind of going on and is still a little nervous as she's just started working here at the Incubus a handful of months ago. And she's checking off and kind of looking around and maybe feels a little misplaced and looks at Magvar and maybe just walks up and says, hey, is there anything I could be doing for you or anyone here?
Magvar looks down at Dara, and then just very slowly, quietly, without saying anything, pans his head one direction, holds it, and then very slowly pans his head the other direction.
Dara's like
and takes a look,
shaking at this point.
and then comes back to center on Dara, and without saying anything, he reaches up his giant metal hand and puts it on your shoulder, and he says, is there anything I can do for you?
And Dara strangely feels comforted by this. She just exhales. No, I think I'm okay. Thank you.
Maybe people will come soon and they will want tattoos.
Hopefully.
There's a quick jettison on the ground as you guys are very familiar with this little automaton that makes its way through the Incubus. Still catches you off guard, Knarf, as a small robotic rat just like goes over your feet, and you do remember that you want to be up before this little rat has his chance to wake you up.
Oh, definitely.
So it goes over your feet, it kind of crawls up your leg, kind of comes up to your shoulder. You're new and intriguing, and you have new worldly smells to this creature, and it just comes up to your face and says,
oh, all right, that is more than enough.
Okay, you shrug it off, and it just pipes down, and you see it go over to Hellbent. This is your shop rat, and it kind of is more of a nuisance, but it's always hanging around. You guys all love it more than anything, but it still gets on your nerves sometimes.
Oh, he is welcome here, but I just don't need to touch him.
So, Hellbent goes and she sits down. What are you guys doing? Mickey, what does your day look like as you start to get going?
Mickey has rolled up his sleeves and he's doing his morning push-ups.
on the shop floor and everything?
100 morning push-ups.
100 morning push-ups.
That's right.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm stepping over him. I'm like, every morning. Just kind of start walking in the front of the shop.
You don't do it in your booth because that's kind of gross, Mickey. But you do it like just in the middle of everything.
Yeah. Right in the middle of the tattoo shop.
Yokai, Knarf, what is it you guys are doing as you guys are starting to get set up?
I just kind of sigh and step over, and I kind of look at Knarf and I go, every morning. Just, it's better if you ignore him and just let him get the push-ups out.
I'm just curious.
Calmer. I mean, he might teach you how to do some. They don't really look like you need it, but to keep you toned.
I'm very curious about why he needs to do it at all. Do these change? Are humans that different?
If you want to do good tattoos, it starts with doing 100 push-ups.
You should see me after one bagel. It's completely different.
I assume tattooing was about art.
It's good to be well-rounded. You'll understand.
And Hellbent pipes up, I'm well-rounded, all right. And it is around that time that you guys hear a bell at the front door, and it chimes as you guys see a dwarf walk through the door, short in stature, broad, long beard that's braided up all together, and he comes up and is followed very quickly by a shorter line of individuals. As the dwarf comes up and he's like, "Oh, hi, hey, I'm looking to get a tattoo. It's my first one, though.
And Dara looks down, her 5'10" self, and it's like, okay, what can we do for you here today?
All right, you see he's wearing he's got like a belted tunic shirt, and he's got like almost like a fanny pack in front of him, and you see him open it up. He's like, "Oh, give me a second. Not that one." And you see him throw a paper. He's like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's garbage." And you see him finally take one out. He's like, "Oh, that's my favorite. I'm a musician, you see. I want my music notes tattooed on me."
Oh, is this your music?
Yeah, it's my music.
Oh, great.
I wrote it. It's wonderful.
Oh, what is it of? Can you sing it for me?
I have stage fright. Real bad. Real bad. Real bad. You don't want any of this.
Okay. And Dara just...
I tend to sing when I'm in pain, though. It's wonderful. So it'll come out, I'm sure, when I, under the needle, as they say.
Oh, just you wait. And Dara takes a look at this and is, maybe just kind of scanning. And, as she's still getting to know the tattooers, she approaches Hellbent and just asks, "Hey, this rope just came in. He's wanting to get this tattoo. Who do you think I should hand this off to?"
How big? That's a lot. I think Magvar would do well with that. It seems pretty precise, and it requires a lot of patience, and I don't think Mickey would have that in this moment.
Good call.
Magvar has overheard that, and he was like kind of peeking his head out a little bit, and he hears his name, and he tries to close the door as quietly as possible and sink back into his studio, just standing next to the door.
Dara quickly runs and is like, "You're not getting away that easy." And say, "Hey, Magvar, we got someone out here. I think this one's for you, dude."
Magvar reaches out his hand and takes the piece of paper and says, I'm going to need 3 to 4 times as long as Mickey to set up. I'll come tell you when I'm ready. And turns around very slowly and approaches his chest of tattooing equipment and opens it. There are plates on the outside of it that match the plates on his arm, and he opens it and begins to take out one ink cap and a smaller piece of ointment.
Oh my! It's by drop. You're doing it. One ointment, one drop. One ointment, one drop.
He's got his little station set up, his stand and tray with a cloth on it, and he's just very, very slowly piecing things together, and then he gets distracted and starts looking at the piece of paper. And then he starts putting things in the wrong place.
He's got to start
just dropping things on the floor.
Caps on top of each other.
Oh, and what she handed you, I mean, your understanding of how music composition is very analytical more than it is anything, but what you can break down is this is 5 lines of, bars, and then it's a lot of music going on. I mean, you're going to have to do this pretty big. Probably a half sleeve of just the musical staffs.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot. So, while you were breaking that down, figuratively and literally, as you try to get your station together, a few more dings happen at the door as you guys watch as 3 more individuals come walking in. You see that there is a female human who walks in. She's very slender in frame. She's wearing a blue, really tight shirt and really tight pants. She has a side holster going on, and she has all the way around, almost like a utility belt, different bell jars full with different ichor. She has a big tube on her back that seems to have a big scroll in it. Behind her is an individual. He is you see a half-elf man who stands around 6'4". He has a black beard. He has circular glasses that kind of embellish and magnify his eyes as he walks in. He's actually dressed really well. He's got a vest on and a dress shirt, and on his shoulder is a little mechanical bird that's like walking around. And on his side, you see that there's almost this fixed contraption that kind of jettisons up, and seems like there's a stand where the bird can sit, and there's a little inkwell and a whole bunch of paper just sitting there. So first up is the woman the Slender Woman. She walks up. She's like, "Hi, it is so nice. I've heard so much about you guys." Oh, okay.
And Dara is like very exhausted by her energy and takes a swig of the flask. Just
I was just drinking last night. I'm so hungover. What?
Yeah.
You know what they say? Hair of the dog, right?
Hey, hair of the dog, right?
Oh yeah. I love this stuff actually. And you see her takes a swig. She's oh, it's so good. Oh.
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh,
and Dara takes another swig and doesn't flinch.
You see that she's like kind of cross-eyed for a second. You see her rub her chest. She's like, "Who is? That's warm." I have a very special tattoo I'd like to get.
And what would that be? I'm all ears.
You gotta give me a second. Whew. So I travel a lot for work. Okay. And I think I need something that represents it magnificently, and I want it to be like, for me, I really am wanting like just a small bird like on my ribs right here.
Okay. And what would you like this bird to look like?
Mostly just black. Like it's really far away, kind of like as you see birds in the distance, kind of thing. I don't want it too big. I don't want it too small, though. I want about medium-sized.
I'm stressed in real life.
Okay,
right now.
okay.
I'm stressed in real life.
And Dara's like, okay, give me just one moment. While you're waiting, why don't you fill this out? And she hands out, like a waiver to sign to her, hands one to our dwarf friend, and then also looks back at the half-elf man and says, "Hey, while you're waiting, you mind filling this out, and I'll be right with you."
Okay. As you say that, you see him perk up a little bit, and the bird flies over to the paper and like grabs the paper and puts it up on like this vertical stand, and you see that the bird dips down into the inkwell and dips back and says, "Thank you. I'll be very patient while I wait." And he grabs the paper and just immediately goes and sits down and starts filling it out. And the one's like, "Does anybody ever read this, actually?"
You should.
You see her kind of like grab
And
and start filling it out.
I walk over to maybe the area where, is there an area where both Yokai and Mickey can hear?
Yeah, no. I mean, this is so the floor plan of the shop is like an open floor plan. You guys can all see and engage with one another. You have like half booths that kind of separate you guys, so it's pretty identifiable. Like you're not just going to walk into somebody else's booth immediately, but you guys can all see each other as you're sitting there. So you can just go in, kind of grab them both. Maybe they're talking in the corner, and you go over and you see them both sitting there. You're able to talk to them.
And I walk over, maybe a little timidly. Because Dara is very intimidated by the both of you.
He's got a little sweat still dropping down his head. Just a single is the only sweat the only bead of sweat from those push-ups, 100 push-ups.
Single bead.
And Dara's like, "Hey,
Hey.
so, hi.
What?
Okay. There's someone here, who's ready for some high energy."
Can I roll perception to see if I heard like screechy girl from the front?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
That is a familiar sound to my ears.
Yeah, take it with advantage. The first roll of the entire game is with advantage.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Now, what if it is both a 1 and a 20?
Yes, both.
Game's over.
You broke it.
Yes, we win. We win.
You win D&D.
Okay.
Thanks for watching from RealmSmith.
Oof. Okay. And then add my perception. That's a 19.
It echoed, actually, so...
Straight to me.
Straight to... Oh my god! It just kind of bellows down.
Do you want me dealing with her today, this morning, as my first client?
Leading.
And Dara just kind of pauses and looks at Yokai. So, Mickey, I have a tattoo for you today.
I go back to sketching.
You mind walking over and maybe talking through this tattoo with her?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, great. And walk with Mickey over back to our friend who is ideally filling out her paperwork she hasn't read.
Give her like a little like...
Okay, so as you come walking up, she's already standing kind of tapping onto the paperwork, waiting as you come up, and she goes, I've been done for a minute.
You want a medal?
No, I want a tattoo, actually, so... Okay, I've heard such amazing things. Are you gonna be my artist?
That might just be what's happening.
There's no way you've ever done this before. I am so excited to see what you come up with for this tattoo.
We want to give you a really experienced artist here, for sure.
How long have you been tattooing?
Forever.
Ooh, that perfect. I mean, limitless information then. It's insane. Okay, so I was telling her I would really love to have, like when birds are really far away, that kind of...
I don't know, can you describe that?
Yeah, they kind of look like V's. Not too much like a bird, but not too much like the letter. I want something in between. Okay. There's a word for it. Shadow. Salute. Salute. I want a salute of a bird on my ribs. I don't want it too big. I don't want it too small. What do you think? What do you think we can do with that?
I think we should make it as complicated as possible.
I think I'm onto something already.
I think we should give you everything you want. And I don't think we should compromise with that. Not one bit.
I am so glad that someone finally understands. Oh my god.
Right.
It's not that hard to make your customers happy.
No, why don't you have a seat and I'll start getting all drawn up.
Oh, okay.
Just give me 1 minute.
Okay, I'll go ahead and wait.
So he turns away and he goes and he finds Knarf.
I knew that was coming.
All right, he's kind of awkwardly standing in the corner.
Has he heard her yet?
He watched every bit of that. Tentatively waiting. So
I'm eyeing him up as I come over. All right, today's the day.
The one who doesn't understand sarcasm.
Yep, that's the one. She wants a V, a really far away V.
You are aware that's called a silhouette, right?
Yeah, don't tell her that because for the rest of her life, she's gonna be telling everyone that she's got a bird salute.
I would never dream of it. That is wonderful. I was just making sure that you...
Yeah, keep it up. Don't let it down.
Understand.
All right.
What do you want me to do?
You're gonna tattoo her.
Why?
Because that's what we do here.
Yes, why?
I'm gonna give you time to think about that. I'm gonna walk to the station and start getting set up.
Okay, I have one more question before you actually do leave. Why is Magvar still setting up?
It's a second setup at this point.
He started over.
Scrap the whole thing.
It's gonna be a long time.
Fair. Well, let's do some tattoos.
So, there's a couple things to play here as you are going to be getting ready for your first tattoo.
No pressure.
I want you to roll an intelligence check for me to see if you know how to fully set up your machine.
Ooh.
No help from Mickey.
Why?
First test.
All right.
Second test. First is push-ups.
What is that?
I don't think I know how to set up my machine.
Is that?
That's a nat one, baby!
All right. Interesting.
Let's go.
So, Mickey. It's not just the
tattoo him
machine.
in the game and out of the game? Like, what happens?
It is not just the machine. This boy is pouring water onto the table to try and get his ink caps to stay in place.
That's right.
He's taken the rinse cup and just filled it to the top with ink.
Yeah.
You know that thing with the little top hat grommets when you don't know how to put a needle bar or needle on the armature bar and you just try to force that motherfucker on there over and over again? It's 30 minutes of him trying to force the needle onto the armature bar. It's bent, it's cattywampus. Actually, he bent the bar the wrong way, so the needle's upside down into the tube. Yep. He has a lining needle and a mag tube that's just sitting there. And the voltage, you hear him hit his foot pedal, and it rings super high. Like, it is.
You feel confident, right?
Oh, you so confident.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like really?
No, 100%. You believe you're doing this perfectly.
All right. What was that?
You feeling pretty confident?
Oh, yes. This is the easiest job in the world, it seems. Take the thing, then the bar, fill the cup, tattoo the woman.
Oh my God! Are you doing my tattoo?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready? Are you
so?
Okay, and
large and ready.
Yeah.
She immediately just comes running over. She goes, "Wow, you're tall. Oh my. Oh, how long have you been tattooing?"
Actually, this is my first one today. And by today, I mean never.
You must be the best artist I've ever met if they're having you do this for your first tattoo. Actually, I'm going to test something. Oh, I want you to check that for me.
Is she gonna throw up?
She's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait. I get to be your first tattoo?"
That you do.
I am so excited. Okay, so where do I sit? And she immediately just runs over to Mickey's booth and sits in his chair.
Is that where she sits?
Does he have his own booth yet?
Yeah, he does. It is a clean booth. There's nothing there except for a single tattoo machine that he has set up.
And I'm honestly asking, is that where she sits?
No.
Oh,
where does she sit?
In your booth.
That makes no sense.
This is a learning experience for the both of us. Yeah.
Such a wonderful
love
experience.
this. Oh, okay. So she comes over and she sits in your chair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do we do now?
I will tell you in just a moment.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Mickey?
Hey.
Help.
No.
Okay then. Can't be too hard. How are you feeling today?
After taking a swig out of whatever the front counter girl had in her little flask, I feel great.
I noticed that, and I'm surprised that you're still standing, but we'll get to that later.
It's like not.
You see, like, her eye. I feel it's fine. It's gonna be great. Honestly, it is going to be amazing.
It probably is better this way, actually.
Okay. I'm gonna keep doing this until you start.
All right. Okay.
Deliver this tattoo, baby.
Confidence now having left because it is now time to perform and put up or shut up. I too start hyperventilating a bit.
Okay, as you all this is happening, this first experience.
Just tell me I walk by or something.
You're on the opposite side from him, so you can be peeping over your shoulder. You can be gawking. How do you envision after you are hearing all of this?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm watching Knarf get set up, and I'm just looming over him and making him feel as comfortable as possible.
Oh yeah. And when you were an apprentice, did your mentor come and just stare at what you were doing without saying anything?
When I was an apprentice, he did one worse. I would actually be in a tattoo, and he'd walk by and just go, "Whoa." And it's just like he was trying to teach me how to be prepared for anything. Like a damn ninja's gonna walk in and try and fight.
Oh my god!
And I mean seriously, like he'd pull paper when I was writing, he'd move chairs. Like that was ridiculous. This mirrors a lot of my actual life 20 years ago.
We want it to be authentic.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all at home, there's a lot of people that go through apprenticeships where that is their experience with the first tattoo, where they have no idea what they're doing, they're not guided, and it's just get in there and do it.
You're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong.
Mine, I heard, you better not fuck this up. Just walk away. And there's nothing worse that you feel when you're getting ready to tattoo. Like,
100%. So, feeling like that right now, when can I start this tattoo?
We're going to get back to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of just peer over and I see like Mickey doing like this kind of aggressive like lean over stare move, and I kind of like look up. I'm sitting, but I kind of look over the half wall and I'm like trying to like get Mickey's attention a little bit. Like,
oh yeah.
and I kind of go, nice.
So, after a moment goes by, the dwarf walks and is just kind of looking around. He goes and looks at the gargoyles and he plucks one of the strings, and you guys hear an off note in the music. And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. I was just testing the music and getting with the vibes." And you see him kind of walk over and look at what you're doing, Magvar. And he's just over like that half wall, and he just leans over. You see him grab one of the stools that is sitting along the wall and drags it to the wall, and you hear kunk, kunk. Oh, yeah. How's it going? I was told you're doing my tattoo today.
I'm looking. Magvar is looking at the dwarf and at the stool that is not in the place that it's supposed to be. Oh my god! And he tries to consider. He reaches just for a second for the dwarf's the back of his neck, and then considers reaching for the stool and doesn't know exactly what to do, and then has sort of like a spark of inspiration, and he reaches inside of his chest cavity where there's like a partially visible dragon shard, and he reaches in and pulls out his familiar, which is like a glowing amber snake. It sort of coils around him, and he gives it to the dwarf, and he says, "It's your job for this tattoo. Before we can begin, you have to take that snake to that lovely Minotaur man."
Hey, I'll make you a deal.
Shut up! Take the snake to him.
Does this make He immediately just runs over with this strange snake in his hand. He's like, "I don't know, I was told to give this to you for my tattoo." And you see him just gesture out and holding just this coiling snake that's not being aggressive, but it is just winding into his hands as he runs over into your booth while you're about to put your first line in.
Please get that thing away from me now.
So, so you see, he dropped the snake, immediately was like,
there's so much worse! Pick it up! Pick it up!
You see him like lean down, he grabs it, he just has it like a limp noodle in his hand. It just goes over, he goes, "Can I get tattooed now?"
Magvar takes the snake out of his hand. He's moved the stool back and is like, put something in front of the stool so it can't be moved back in case the dwarf wants to move the stool again. He takes the snake out of the dwarf's hand and he says to Knarf on the other side of the shop, "It's to help." And then he throws the snake back at Knarf from Magvar's station, and then he goes back to continuing to set up.
Roll a d20 for me. Just roll a d20. We're going to play it that way. It's going to be an attack that isn't damaging.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want it to be.
Where the hell is she?
I don't
right
want to be.
Where's our boss right now?
She is just getting her tattoo needles and everything like that together.
That would be a 16 for an attack.
16, what's your AC?
Oh, my AC is 15.
It limp noodle slaps you in the face as it hits and it drops onto your client. And it's interesting because you look down and you see the snake and it's writhing and it slithers off of her body because you look down and she's out. And one side, it's funny, you did one side of a V on her by accident. By accident, there is a full straight line on the side of her ribs from where you jumped, screamed, and recoiled from this snake.
That is only because I do not know how myself to pass out.
So, the snake goes and it slithers back to you. Help
before it leaves. I want the snake is there to give him like the help action for when he starts to tattoo.
Okay. I'll say that after it slithers off the woman, it actually goes and it knows your intention, so it's going to just coil around the leg of the chair so that it's not seen, but maybe, just maybe, it can help him out a little bit. So, around that time, the dwarf is just sitting there shaking. Hellbent is actually, it's interesting because you see that her light's going, and then you see that she has taken like 2 gears, and they are affixed to the side of her head by a bar that goes to the back, and you just see her like kind of vibing and jamming and getting down, and you see her take them off. Oh, it's you. Oh, Orcus, it's so nice to see you. As she looks at the half-elf that is sitting in the lobby. And you see that the bird flies over to the piece of paper, and you see it start scribing, and it says, I have an appointment with Hellbent today.
And Dara sees that and starts to sweat a little because all of this has happened in front of like someone who knows Hellbent. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Obviously, there's a little commotion. Here, why don't you come on here?
As you see them kind of perk up, but they reach over and grab your hand, and the bird, they don't break eye contact, but the bird keeps going and says, "Breathe, calm down. It's gonna be okay. I didn't see anything."
And Dara just, whew, okay. Okay.
Afterwards, it says, "I'm writing a book. Can I put this in my book?"
Go for it.
You see
You're
that
more than welcome.
the bird just draws a little smiley face.
And Dara just feels comforted.
Yeah, you see him kind of stretch up. He's got a joyful smile and just a radiant energy about him. And he goes, and everything that he's communicating is strictly via the scribing bird. But it's communicating. He's like, I finished the paperwork, and there you go. And Hellbent comes over. She's like, it's been so long, Orcus. How have you been? How's your book going? And he goes, it's going great. I'm pretty far behind, actually, but I'm hoping to have it finished in the next couple months, so that I can finally get back home and start publishing again. She's like, oh well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get you started on your tattoo. Guys, I will be working fairly late on this, so if there's anything, you guys finish early, work if you want, but you guys feel free to go to town. Around that time, the doorbell rings, and you see that there is 2 more people that walk in. As the door opens, you hear as you see coming up in a lumbering manner you hear a cane. And as you, this individual walks in hulking, you see a Goliath who's been shrunk, and he has tattoos all on his forearms. You see him go over to the counter. He's like, "Hell yeah, brother! I'm here, and I'm ready to get some tats."
Okay, what can we do for you?
Oh, yeah, you don't have to talk like that to me, honey. Hell yeah. I know how this goes. I've been in this for a long time. I got a whole bunch of tattoos. Look at this guy. And you see that there's like this big blown out piece on the back of his arm. He's like, "I did that, when I was, I was down in the cells in the dungeon, and I made it look pretty good though, didn't I?"
I'm gonna go get someone.
I hope I don't hear any of this. I'm kind of just like everybody else is working.
I feel like you are very focused on what's happening right there.
Yeah, I'm watching the absolute calamity.
So
that is Knarf doing his first tattoo.
So as you leave to go get somebody, I want you to go ahead and roll. What should we call the tattooing?
I think it's
sleight of hand. That's kind of what I was thinking. Or performance.
Tat check.
Huh?
Tat check.
Tat check. Go ahead and roll.
I have it written in sleight of hand.
Let's do sleight of hand. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand for me. Okay. Let's see how you finish this V of a bird.
I mean, confidence is back now. Half of that's looking good.
Right.
15 plus 5, that's 20.
Okay, so the thing about tattooing, everybody, is this: you fuck up consistently. It doesn't really look like you fucked up. And you made it match, and you managed to go ahead and sculpt out the edges a little bit. You know how the paintbrush works. You know how paint should work on skin. They're by no means the same medium. It's very difficult. It's bouncing around everywhere. But somehow you managed to land just a symmetrically fucked up line on the other side. And you know what? The bird has a broken wing, but it looks like a silhouetted bird. A saluted bird.
Is she conscious right now?
As he finishes, she does come to, and she's like, "Oh, that didn't even hurt. Oh my God, it didn't hurt." And she looks down, she's like, "I love it. This is not your first tattoo, is it? What was your name?"
Knarf is the name, and yes, this was my first tattoo. Years of painting have taught me that giving my all and being naturally perfect usually makes situations work out in my favor. You're welcome.
Whatever it is, keep on doing it, Knarf. You are doing great. I love this. How much do I owe you?
I will be back. Second, please.
So, you guys finish tattoo, you start to walk over, and these two start to walk to you two simultaneously. At the same time, I feel like, do you believe you've probably started on the process of your tattoo yet?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so it's kind of like everything's kind of going to one side for a second. Mm-hmm. So, go ahead as you both walk up to these two.
And Dara, it's like the same scene as before. Dara walks up and is just kind of like, "Hey."
Hey.
What's
up?
From the front, you hear, "Hey, hell yeah, brother! Are those the tat guys?"
And I just give a darting look to Yokai and Mickey, and I'm like, "You guys aren't fucking getting out of this time. Like, this one is not my responsibility. Come on." And I just grab them both and pull them both up to the front.
Oh, you guys...
I let her do it. I mean, I'm annoyed, but I need to make some money today.
Okay. Do you have a conversation while they're kind of being, like, dragged to the front?
Yes, I'm wondering why they are both so terrifying. And also, how did you do that?
Oh, well, this guy up here, maybe I'm whispering this a little so that guy doesn't hear. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that guy? Way, way too much. I'd rather take what's coming from them.
Well, as an aside, can I be honest with you for 1 second?
Sure, anything.
I don't know how the fuck I just did that.
And maybe I kind of look over to wherever she is now and I just tap him. I'm like, "You did great, buddy."
I guess the job is easier than I thought.
You see her, she's like looking in the mirror and she's like posing in different angles. Like,
And I'm like, look at how happy she is.
Yes, she's very happy. How do I get her out of here?
Let's collect coin. Did Mickey tell you how much you should be charging for this?
Not once, not never. Can you ask? I do not want to.
you hear that, Mickey.
And how far is Mickey from us at this point?
I mean, you're dragging him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
still got
standing.
it.
Right.
So then, I say, all right, Mickey, and I let go of him. Like, you take care of this. Yokai, let's go.
I look at him just like, well, and then kind of like relax my arm a little bit and kind of start walking next to her and being less dragged.
Okay, so you go up, and the Goliath, older Goliath, comes up. He's like, "Hi, nice to meet you." Hell yeah, nice to meet you.
Like really
nice.
grip it.
Oh yeah. You got a hand on you. I see. So I did all these myself.
Looks like it.
Yeah, I thank you. Finally, someone who recognizes talent here.
Absolutely.
I want my entire head blasted today. It's the only place I can't tattoo myself.
Off your body or just? Oh yes, yeah, we do have tattoos.
Yeah, I want full tribal.
Done.
Going all around.
Yes.
All right, you draw it up. We'll sit down. You name the price. It's yours.
My specialty.
All right. Pretty straightforward. Punch, punch, punch. Now, this last individual, and it's funny because you see the birds kind of like flying around and checking stuff out as you guys are tattooing. You see that the paper gets turned and it writes, "Is it okay if I kind of observe what you're doing? Can I ask questions to all of you?" I mean, you're probably the only one who sees it. They're all working.
And I think I look at him like, sure, I don't see why not. And this is the bird from Ulcus.
Yeah, and you see Ulcus is just kind of sitting in his chair, kind of looking over, and Hellbent's already started the tattoo. By the time she is already on it, you see that there's like blue arcane glow coming from her machine as she is, lining it with this machine, and you see that there's a long stick beside her that has different needles affixed to it. And you see that Ulcus is kind of just like looking over at everybody.
And I think I see that and I just say, and Dara is way more intimidated by Hellbent than she would be than anyone else in the shop. So she just says, any friend of Hellbent is a friend of ours. So I don't see why not. And without asking anyone, just lets it happen.
All right. You see that the bird just draws a little heart real quick. There's the final person that kind of you see step, and it was kind of like standing behind this Goliath. Jason, if you could go ahead and join the table and introduce your character.
Now it's a party.
Where are we?
We had to make a little.
Yeah, let's.
We got to make a little bit extra room for you.
A little room.
So, while they're making their moves and getting adjusted in there, Magvar, how's this tattoo process going for you?
Okay, so Magvar spent a lot of time looking at the notes, like the long sheet of paper.
Yeah.
And he picked out his 4 favorite looking notes.
Okay.
And then did his best to convince the dwarf to just get those 4 notes.
Ooh. Roll persuasion.
Okay. Let's see.
With advantage, because he's kind of scared shitless right now.
Okay, cool. I will do that. Oh, listen to that clack.
I know.
Look at those dice.
Ooh,
man.
Goodness.
Persuasion?
Mm-hmm. That's gotta be your strong suit. That's gotta be your strong suit.
Everybody knows that Magvar is very persuasive.
You say 10?
10.
Luckily, he's scared shitless. The DC was 10. And it took a little bit of convincing back and forth. Sure. He was like, I really would like to have like the entire thing. Otherwise, it's just a few notes on me. But you managed back and forth enough that he finally doesn't want to upset you again and takes it. So, you guys begin the tattoo. You blow it up. It just goes across. It's almost like an armband on the outside. if you could go ahead and introduce what everybody sees.
Absolutely. In the door walks an individual. The first thing you notice is that he is shirtless. He appears to have light blue skin and hair that is made of what appears to be blue crystals. Anybody that has met one before, you'd recognize him as an Eberron, but they're very rare, so you may not have. He is shirtless, and he wears leather pants, and he kind of walks in and he starts to look around, and he sees, who does he see at the front when he walks in?
I'll say first thing that you see when you walk in is Dara staying on the counter. She just got done chatting with Ulcus, getting tattooed by Hellbent, and kind of just turns to address you. Seems like mostly everybody is busy. Mickey is probably back over discussing with Knarf over some pricing situations.
Okay. So I see Dara first?
Yeah.
Okay. I walk in and I say, hello, the light greet you.
Thank you. Tara's very taken aback and maybe hasn't seen an Ergenasi and is just very bewildered by just, how interesting you look. And it's just, how can we help you? What brings you in?
Yes, I understand your shock. I am quite the specimen, and I know I am quite different than many that come through these parts. My name is Indigo. That is what they call me. And I'm looking to receive one of your body parts today.
Oh, great. The tattooers are a little wrapped up right now, but what are you looking for? I'll get some notes written down and bring it.
Yes, I am constantly and consistently looking for inner enlightenment and to be elevated to a state of greater being. And so I want to tattoo a draconic saying on my body. I don't personally speak draconic, but I feel that the earth and the light speak to me and elevate me to a point that I want to be inclusive of all types of people. And frankly, my friend wrote out something in draconic script for me that I would like tattooed on my rear.
And Dara's so with it, and he says on his rear, and she kind of flumps a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, what would you like it to say?
Yes, it says, I know, I have it here, and he takes out a little bit of parchment and he kind of unrolls it and he shows it to you. And it looks like draconic script. And he says, yes, it says, rises from the ashes. It is a reminder that every time I sit down, when I stand up, I am rising to a better version of myself.
Oh, great! What a beautiful message you're trying to
thank
send.
you.
You mind if I
the
take
light
this?
of the world. That is my message to everyone who will listen.
Great, yeah. Okay, do you mind if I take this really quick?
Yes, of course.
Here's a form. You mind filling this out for me?
I actually brought a form of my own. And he pulls out a little scroll and he kind of unrolls it and he shows it to you. And he says, I've had my people look through it. It's a number of pages, and he drops the bottom of it and it kind of hits the ground and kind of rolls out. And he says, it's all covered. You can be assured that it is exactly what will be needed and required for this interaction.
And Dara's really confused because all she's ever known, she takes the scroll and it's just kind of CVS receipt going through this long, never-ending scroll when we just have a single, piece of paper, sign the bottom, done. Okay. Just one moment, please. Please make yourself comfortable. And I will be right back.
Yeah, light bless you.
Thank you.
And also with you.
It is. It follows me.
Okay.
Catholics in the house.
And so Dara is just kind of confused, is reading over, and what does this scroll is kind of maybe comparing our form to this scroll and trying to see what the differences are. Is there anything blatantly obvious.
So as you look through the both, the biggest thing is, it is essentially saying the same thing, but for every word that is trying to condense it into, what you guys create into a short form format, it's about a paragraph per word. It's just very wordy. It doesn't, instead it's reiterating the same things. Gets the gist done. May not hurt, but, as a shop, you will need to probably also have your stuff done too.
Right.
So.
And I still take both forms with me and this, this draconic little piece of parchment. And I'm just kind of walking by, and I'm looking at maybe Knarf and Mickey as they're mid-conversation. And I'm just like, hey, there's a guy over here, he wants this draconic script. It's written out. And Dara herself has a couple of, botched up tattoos. She's gone to a few shady places in her day.
Yeah.
The only good tattoo she has is her neck tattoo from Hellbent. So she, knows this could be trouble.
Okay.
I would say. And it goes, up to Mickey and Knarf and it's like, hey, can you guys help me out with this? And Mickey, you've been here forever. Have you ever come across anyone bring their own form?
Yeah, definitely. People like to bring stuff they don't understand, like languages they don't know, words they can't really.
But like their own consent form?
Oh, I don't know. Let me ask help.
So for one, does anybody speak Draconic here?
No.
As in?
Yeah.
Okay, Katsu. So you go over to Hellbent, and she has, one gear up, one gear down that she was kind of like bopping to and stuff. And you walk up, she goes, at this point you see that she's actually onto the shading, the very slow portion of this for her, where she's methodically, literally tapping the ink into the skin, and it's almost becoming iridescent and then turning into the pigmentation of the color that is meant to be. As you see that she is doing just a beautiful like collaboration of stars that kind of wind up the body. But as it goes up, it actually seems like it's sparkling as it goes.
Okay.
She sees you come up, she goes, hi, Mickey. What's going on?
Well, there is a genie man here. And he would like to use his own consent form. He pulled it out of his leather pants.
Did it seem legitimate at all?
How long is it?
I'll tell you what. Have him sign what we have and scribble somewhere. You don't have to sign it.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back over to the genie man.
All right. Did you guys decide on a payment for the young lady?
No, I told Knarf I was about to tell him how much money to give him, but I'm gonna approach the genie man.
Mickey,
hold on one second. Hello.
Hi. May bless you.
What's this here?
Yes, this here, myself? Or, what do you speak of? What exactly is this?
If you could just explain all of it.
All of it. My name is Indigo, and I, in my enlightened state, believe it is important to gain knowledge from everything that I possibly
All right, maybe not so much of it. Maybe.
I'd like a tattoo.
Okay, if you want to get a tattoo, you gotta sign this paper, and I show him the shop form.
Surely, your assistant showed you my form that I brought along.
I saw the toilet paper roll hit the floor.
Yes. It's very, very simple and fairly straightforward, and protects all of us equally. I assure you.
Well, that's great, but we don't sign your form. We're the tattoo shop. You sign our form. If you would like a tattoo here from the Incubus.
All right. May I see your form?
Of course.
Yes.
Well, I'm handing it to you.
Oh, thank you. And he reads it and he says, a little less professional than I'm used to. But I think that perhaps...
I pointed Dara.
But perhaps, fine, very well. A quill then. Very well. You look like a very well-established and wonderful shop. Oh right, and he signs it.
Very complimentary. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I think during this, I'm maybe like kind of poking around with the parchment to each of them. Like, does anyone speak Draconic? Like, can you read this?
I'm pulling out like a book of tribal. Like I'm at the reference kind of library, and I'm just like, I'm not drawing tribal today. I just flip it open, kind of like look back up at his egg-shaped head, like, I'm like, yeah, that'll work. And I just cannibalize a couple tattoos, put them together. I'm attempting to kind of sketch it in a way that like would maybe fit around his ear. I feel like he'd be into that, you know, and just like, it's both sides. I'm just gonna like copy it real quick. And I kind of see Dara just running around, and I go, wait, give me this.
And I'm like, hey, can you read this? It says, rises from the ashes. Is that what this says?
In what?
In Draconic.
Okay.
Nope.
It says, writing on my asses.
Okay, I go, where does he want this?
In his words, behind.
What's behind?
I'm assuming that means his ass.
On his ass. Okay. How much is he paying for this?
I don't know who's doing it.
That's a very good question. Yeah, seems right to me.
So,
I'm fluent in Draconic. That is 100% what that says.
So, while you're...
I think Dara easily just believes Yokai.
Yeah.
And I go, and ask head tattoo guy how much he's got in his pocket, too.
You name the price. You name it, I'm here for it.
Can I roll perception to see, like, size him up and see what I think I can get out of him?
Yeah,
like
let's go ahead. Let's do an investigation.
Okay.
You're gonna try and, and let's do insight. That's a little bit better.
Insight, okay, got it.
Investigation, you'd be trying to find a specific thing.
Side note, I appreciate that I'm still just trying to get Mickey's attention.
Just like this the whole time.
Yeah, the girl has like not stopped checking her tattoo out the entire time. She is in love.
12.
12? You know, something about it is despite his overbearing presence, despite, his boisterousness and his outward expression of his own tattooing, I mean, he seems to be pretty forward. Like, he doesn't seem dishonest. He seems meaningful of what he's saying. He's just a
If
lot.
I look back, like, is he wearing like ratty shoes or like nice
No,
shoes? Or does he have, like...
so he's wearing super nice leather boots, very nice leather chaps. Comes up, he's wearing just a leather vest that, it's torn to shit, but it looks like, it was legitimate. It was authentic. You do see on his side, he has a battle axe that's just adorned to it. So, and the metal work on it is super fine. There's engraving that goes along the sides of it and everything. So he looks like he's pretty legitimate on that course.
Okay.
So
I don't know what price we decided on. Should we go through this real quick?
I'm sorry. I thought that we'd have this in all together. About 10 gold per, $10 per gold is kind of what we kind of leveled out. When I was looking it up, it's about it's like 8.76 or something.
Okay,
per
well, I had 20 gold,
but
so I
just
just wanna
round
make
it
sure. Okay.
So.
Yeah, a head tattoo, tribal, right? If he sits well, knock it out in half a day, maybe. I'm gonna try and get. Like, I know.
Let's hear it.
I'm thinking 100 gold.
100 gold, so $1,000.
Yeah. What's that bike look like?
So as you say that, 100 gold, he's like, yeah, I've paid worse. So yeah, let's get at it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey. So you guys start to get going. You guys have, you guys are going through the process of getting your tattooing together. what was Indigo doesn't seem to stop talking at you the entire time. It seems that you're in the tattoo process, but you guys are getting along to it. You're getting some tattooing done, and it takes. Everyone starts to do their own thing. You've gotten stencils. You've finished. How long do you wait before you finally?
Did you get paid?
I'm still waiting. I was ready to ask him to talk.
He's finally stopped enough to talk when he's tattooing.
Mickey, hi.
Hey, Knarf.
What is the?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Okay, hear me out here. As wonderful as this woman is, if she stays any longer, I believe her legally married. What would you say is the going rate for fortuitous accidents?
I would say probably 15 gold.
Indubitably, 20 gold it is.
Okay, so you go over, you're talking to her, and you're just like 20 gold. She goes, I only have 10.
Then why did you come in?
I'm a little, I love the tattoo. You did an amazing job. I'm super happy to have done this with you. Yes. But you didn't tell me how much it was before. I find that extremely unprofessional. I will happily, speak. I believe there's a journalist in the back.
She's picking him in.
Now. I don't think there's any reason for that. Can we work out a deal?
I got 10 gold.
Yeah, halfway is better than being on my list.
All right, thank you very much. And you see her literally just...
Not yet. We are not done. Can you do 15?
You see her literally take her sack and pour it out. And there is 10 gold pieces.
Okay. 10 gold pieces it is today. Thank you for being...
Thank you so much. This is such an amazing experience, and I have had such an amazing time, and I really appreciate what you've done for me, Garf. You see her go and grab it and drop it in your hand, and you see her walk out.
No, thank you.
Do I see his exchange of not getting as much money as I told him to?
Give me a perception check, just because it's kind of across the shop.
Perception. It's 13.
13? You know 20 gold when you see it. And you know when it's half. Not exactly, but what he got handed was not 20 gold.
Supposed to get 15?
Yeah. And of all the years and of bouncing and lower Memphis, you would think I'd be prepared for a woman walking in for a tattoo. This job may be harder than I imagined it was.
Don't worry, we'll chat with Hellman later.
Do we have to?
During this entire time, what are you saying?
I'm waiting, and I say, so whose privilege is it going to be to give me this wonderful mark of my evolution?
I guess I'm gonna have the tattoo at some point today. All right.
Is that a yes then?
Follow me.
Very good, I will.
Dara takes the the parchment that she got back from Yokai, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I guess it says rises from the ashes."
So the bird was came and actually sat on your shoulder as you were holding the paper, and taps you, and you see Ulcus kind of turn the paper away from them, and just the bird flies over and says, "What was it again?"
Writing on my asses.
Says writing on my asses? Question mark.
And I'm like, no.
It scribbles out real quick. The bird's like...
and I just kind of oh, and then I'm like, no. Rises from the ashes.
Can I see any of this at all?
Give me a perception check. Your tattoo, how long do you think it takes? It takes you a long time to set up, but...
I think at this, I talked him down from quite a bit, so I imagine at this point we've finished up the tattoo.
Yeah, he kind of squirmed a little bit, and kind of not the best client, but give me a sleight of hand check. I just want to check this out.
That was 8.
8. No, you can't. You're kind of like more upset that you didn't get the full payment.
Yeah, I believe the wording's right.
I imagine there's been so much time since then that my snake familiar has come back. Is that okay? Cool. Yeah. So as we finish the tattoo, like at the last part, the snake is like on Magvar's shoulder, kind of glowing a little bit to be like a snake wrap headlamp. Can it give me the help action?
Okay, of course. Okay. Yeah. Just you guys watch as the snake coils up, goes on top of his shoulder, opens its mouth, and sparks just illuminate. What do we
Somebody's
get?
getting
Nat 20.
Oh! Hey, Nat 20. So, man, that was quick. Thank you to Forged Gaming for making these amazing dice, and because apparently we can get both sides right off the bat.
Immediately.
It's Frank and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Always.
You know what? That lines up.
Yeah, that tracks.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
All right. So, you are starting to get on your tattoo. You guys start to collaborate a little bit, and there's just this weird tension going on. Mickey's more so, you might be trying to give him any kind of insight while he's making the stencil, even shaving the area, anything like that. Mickey, I'm going to guess it's just like in your ear as you're trying to work.
That's exactly right.
As he walks, he always looks heroic because of it. He's an air genasi, so his clothes are always kind of billowing and as if he's an
anime character.
Yeah.
So,
so this bird.
Mhm.
So did the bird fly away?
No,
after?
well, it flew off onto the parchment and kind of wrote some stuff, and maybe it kind of flew back a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm just saying, are you positive that this doesn't say rises from the ashes?
The bird just looks at Ulcus. Ulcus looks at you and was like,
And Dara, is feeling a little anxious.
That's your alignment.
Yeah, feeling anxious having to approach Mickey and Indigo. And are both of you back by your station at this point?
I'd say he's, do you think you guys have started the tattoo process? Or?
His tattoo is going, where's it going again?
On his ass.
Okay. Alright, so Mickey sits down and he takes off one shoe and he removes one sock and he puts his shoe back on and he goes, alright, take your pants off.
How big is the script?
Is that how this works?
He says, well, all right. Here in front of all these people, I
take them off.
All right. And he pulls them down in the back, and he has the most muscular, svelte ass you've ever seen.
Alright,
just the porcelain.
You gotta lose him. All the way down.
All the way.
like a little kid peeing.
Hellbent hears us up front and goes, only if they want to, Mickey.
Just put yourself in here. Hit him in the sock.
You want me to wear the sock?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
It's a professional, man.
Can I put it on? Well, where do I put it on? Do I just?
Alright, I'm gonna get set up.
All right, just right here.
Start getting set up.
He starts kind of looking around for like a restroom or like a change room or like.
Hellbent catches eyes with you.
Yeah.
She goes, come here.
Yes. Penguin walking.
Yeah. Are your pants just like halfway down or are they ankled? Are you full on toddlering?
Like butt showing. Like
Okay,
kind of up.
but you still. Okay.
And he kind of like waddles over.
Mickey can be a little brash sometimes. If you would like to get changed, there's a bathroom in the back. If you would like to show the only area that you would need to be tattooed, you are welcome to do that.
I work very hard on all of this, and so I think I'll be okay.
Does Dara hear that?
You just see her.
He takes the sock and he opens up the front of his pants and he puts it down and he applies it, and then he goes like this, and like wind takes all of his clothes off.
Oh my god.
One like, ah, and the socks remains.
She is unfazed, unbewildered. She goes, I guess I've seen smaller. I can get you a tattoo.
Dara then I think maybe is like wants to cross paths with him, and I'm just like, hey.
He's walking back at the same time, full.
Yeah, and I'm just like not trying to look. I'm just like, ugh, like not really impressed. And I'm like, hey, I've got some not so fun news. I don't think this says what you think it does.
Oh, but my dear friend, a very, very good friend of mine told me that is exactly what it says.
Dara's very persistent. Is like, no, this says writing on my asses.
Like writing?
Or like, is it writing or riding?
Writing.
Oh.
Like writing on my asses.
Writing. This says writing on
Writing.
Writing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
It is writing on an asses.
Yes.
with a T,
Yes.
not a D.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Two different stories.
Riding.
Two different stories.
Yes. Writing on my ass.
Yeah, it says writing on my asses.
Oh, that's funny. I get it. I'll be dealing with them. We'll deal with them later. Do you have anyone here who maybe speaks or writes Draconic that can write it properly?
Yokai speaks Draconic. You should ask her.
I think maybe I walk over to Yokai. I'm like,
I'm working up the stencil still. I'm talking to. Have I asked this guy's name?
Oh no, my name's Athun. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, how do you spell that, buddy?
A-T-H-U-N. Oh, my real name is Athrukakoon. But we'll just do Athun.
That's fine. That's good. Good. And he's just kind of talking to me while I work up this tribal. But back in my days when I worked at the Tavern, it's a 24-hour tattoo shop that just did nothing but flash and old school tattoos. And I'm in my element. I'm like half listening to his story. I'm drawing it up, like showing him, like, oh, I think like this on this side and this on the other.
He's just like, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Put that right on there.
Vibing. And I see Dara walk up again, and I'm like, with the paper in her hand. I'm like, what's up?
I'm like, hey. And like for the first time today, you see Dara approach Yokai with confidence. It's like, hey.
It is at that time the door busts open. There comes in an individual standing at about 6'2". He's got an animalistic face. It's been kind of like narrowed and a uplifted nose a little bit. They got long brown hair. They're covered in tattoos that have like where they've shaved their arms, and they immediately run over to right where you are, Yokai, and go and they actually grab a throne and they're like, a throne, your house is on fire. Your family's in there, man. And no, hell yeah, brother. And immediately they both go running out of the door.
I'm still just holding the tribal as my 100 gold runs out the door. And I just start slowly.
You start to, before he like gets the door, he stops. He goes, can you help me?
Yeah, for about 100 gold.
1,000. And he immediately fucking ching ching is out the door.
Did he give me the gold yet?
Huh?
Did he give me the gold?
He has not.
She didn't get paid either.
Do I hear Knarf say that? Do I hear him say that?
Yeah.
I shoot him at daggers. I go, have you given the house its cut of that yet? Or were you just gonna keep it all?
I believe you just cut enough for the both of us, dear.
No. So I kind of back up and I look at, is Dara still trying to hand me this piece of paper as this happens?
I think Dara sees all that happen and is just kind of like, and looks around to see if anyone else is getting up to help.
The shifter has actually not left the area yet. He is literally like waiting because you guys heard the motor just vroom, boom, 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 and start taking off in the distance. And the shifter's like waiting back and forth.
Did Magvar hear all of this?
Yeah, this dude was not.
So when Through Cocoon tells Yokai that he'll give 1,000 gold, does Magvar perceive that to be truthful?
Give me a quick insight check.
Cool. 20.
Whoa! 20 natural?
No,
dirty.
Oh, dirty.
Okay,
dirty 20.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, he seemed sincere, frantic, and he may have meant it. Yeah, I mean, he'd pay anything, it seemed.
Okay. I think unbeknownst to Dara...
Either I wait here and I show you guys where the fire is, or I go now to try and help since you guys don't want to.
Kind of like put my hands down and I'm like trying to do the math real quick in my head. I'm like 0 gold, 1,000 gold, 0 gold, 1,000 gold. Fine. And I just kind of like drop my stuff and kind of start following him out. I look and I go, do I spot Magvar?
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, he's like down the hall coming like toward you.
Yeah, I go, come on. We got something else to do today. Hellbent, be right back, I promise. And I just kind of like shout across as I like take off out the door.
Okay. What do you two do? 3 do. What do you 3 do?
Say, can I actually follow you? Because I'm now realizing that I am negative $2 today.
Probably.
And I am losing money, and I'm also a little bit afraid.
And I go, yeah, new guy, come on, all hands on deck, let's go.
Better than another tattoo.
Is the Genasi walking back?
No, he's just standing in his sock while everybody's
He's just standing sock privated.
Did you pick up the clothes after they flew off? They just sitting in the corner?
I figured like his pants over like Mickey's head.
Yep.
It just like...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dara, her purpose was to get Yokai to answer this question, but Yokai's gone, and I see Magvar going too, so Dara's like, all right, yeah, let's go. And then maybe I look at Indigo and I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry, we've got to take care of something. Hey, can you help?
I have other things that I need to do. And he starts like sheepishly like picking his
Well, come back later and I'll set you up an appointment. And then I just turn around and...
The shifter has already like walked out the door. You guys see him as he is like full sprint. You managed to collaborate with him. What do you do, Mickey?
I walk up to Indigo and I ask him, how many push-ups do you do every morning?
Like 1,000. I go until I reach the next level of enlightenment.
1,000. He pulls out a little pad and he writes it down.
There's no acknowledgement of you. Keeps writing it down as he steps down, and you guys head that away.
Mickey keeps writing, and as he does, he walks by and he goes, "Your friend can't spell. You can't get tattooed today."
I love it. At that point,
from behind him and say, "Also, you don't have to do that."
We're gonna go ahead and take a break real quick. We'll come right back, dude. Thank you. Thank you, Jason, for coming and playing with us. That was so much fun.
What a good surprise.
That was so
awesome,
fun.
man.
The sock is free.
Yeah.
All right.
Sock is free.
Take that with you.
We'll be back after a very short break to go and check out this fire.
Do you miss playing Dungeons & Dragons, or just have a hard time finding a group in your hometown? Maybe you just wish you could play more. On Discord, we created a community of over 100 people who are playing D&D around the clock. By integrating Discord and D&D Beyond, we're able to provide an immersive experience that is the first of its kind. You can create a character from 1st to 15th level, and then roleplay 24/7 in our Discord channels while combating monsters, crafting weapons, training new skills, and searching for items across our campaign world. You'll also have the chance to participate in random combat encounters and go on monthly virtual quests. Ever wanted to try your hand at being a dungeon master? Or maybe you're an experienced dungeon master and just want the chance to run more adventures. As a community DM, you can run encounters and virtual quests for the community based on monthly modules written by our very own accomplished plot team. Join us.
Join us.
Check it out. Join the Discord.
Join us.
Join us.
And let's create incredible stories together.
Is the money really worth all this?
It's not about the credits. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
I bet you have.
You're not getting the drop on the villains with sounds like that. Your game needs Sirenscape. The Sirenscape online player has a huge library of epic sounds for any situation. Epic games need epic sound. Go to Sirenscape.com to get started today.
Hey, Dr. Dane at Cream Tattoo Supply here. Do you need a remedy for your corporate gouging, woes, and your tattoo supplies? Well, I'm here to tell you, I've got the solution. We've got cream cartridges. And I know what you're saying. Hey, Dr. Dane, is it going to cost a lot? It's not going to cost a lot. It's going to cost just the right amount. Economically friendly. Do you want to support a tattooer-owned and operated business? I know I do. Head on over to creamtattoosupply.com or come to our storefront at 1102 East Prospect Street in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Dr. Dane never has or never will be a doctor. If you or someone you love has been affected by monopoly tattoo companies, please go to creamtattoosupply.com for your supply acquisitions.
It is said that the ancient Forge Masters would infuse a part of their souls into their creations, imbuing courage, strength, and grace with each strike of the hammer. But somewhere, deep in a dwarven hall, the last of the Forge Masters is hard at work.
And we're back as you guys have bolted out of the incubus in different successions as you guys are following the shifter with the sound of the motorcycle in the distance of vroom, 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 as it started to just trail away until you hear it cut off. You guys take just a few minutes running side by side with this shifter as you guys are going through Griffinclaw. On the edge of the town where the villages tend to be, you guys see that there is a massive pillar of smoke coming from where you're assuming this house is. As you guys start running up, you guys see that there is a house that is in between two others. There's desert landscape, but as you look around and as you guys have exited the bus, dusk, or I guess not dusk, it is starting to get late. It's starting to get nightfall. A long day of tattooing has led you to here, or not tattooing, depending on how it went. But you guys managed to get up, and as you run up to the scene, you see the large pillar of smoke coming from the farthest side from me, but the right side of the house as you're looking at it. It seems that it's quickly spreading and quickly taking over. But more curious is outside of the house, you see the motorbike. And right beside it, you see that the Goliath is on the ground prone, and there's an individual that is kind of like just rubbing his body as he's laying on the ground, kind of consoling him. What does everybody do?
Oh no. Can I use my dash action to get to him the quickest?
Yeah, you run up there.
Yeah.
And you see that it's a half-elf woman that is standing beside him. Older, but still, about standing around 5'6", really nice, pretty looking, gaunt. And she looks up, she goes, "You have to hurry. You have to hurry." What do you do?
Does he look unconscious? Does he look like he's moving?
No, he's unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, can you tell me if I look up at the house kind of exactly what I see? Like, is this thing just up in flames or?
Yeah, no, the right side, so the side farthest from me, right above our Incubus logo.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason, for making this map. It is super dope.
I didn't even notice it. It's so cool.
So that is where it seems that the largest pillar of smoke is, or the largest pillar of fire is coming out from the sides. It looks like that's a garage.
Where are we?
You guys are on this side of Frank, where that stone area is. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you guys are out there. You guys feel free to put your minis there where you think that you would lined up. As the woman is kind of like brushing him, she looks up to you. She goes, "He's okay. He just passed out. He does that sometimes. He's a little softy. He said something about his sewing station, and then he just passed out. I'm not sure. He gets overwhelmed easily." But
I didn't put that on the consent form. I did not see passing out on the consent form. But I understand.
You have to hurry. His family's in there, though.
Okay.
All right.
So,
I'm just in the middle.
what do you guys do?
Is everybody else caught up by the time I get that information?
Huh? Yeah, I mean, I'd say that this is kind of the marching order that you guys appear in. I'd say that you're probably, if we could just get everybody in squares and make sure, I'd say put you about 10 feet from the door. So move everybody about 10 feet back.
How big is each square?
5 feet.
Oh, 5 feet, sorry. For those of you who don't know, this is actually like Frank's, you would never guess it. It is his first or second time playing D&D. His first time was actually with Kelly on a television show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't play on the show, but we played while we were not on the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time we got some free time, that happened.
Exactly. And, you'd never guess it. He kills it, man. So, you guys see that there's flames coming from the right side of the building. What is it everybody does?
As I kind of get that information and I look and everybody kind of catches up to me, I look and I go, "I think he's fine. I think he just passed out. I think his family is inside this building."
And Dara just speaks up and goes, "How many people?"
She looks up, she goes, he has an eldest, a youngest, and his wife.
Great. Let's go.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Dara very quickly is, I think, goes right to the front and wants to get into the door just to kind of assess how close fire is right to the door.
right to the door. As you look in, first off, the smoke is kind of coming from the edges. You can't you can't really see it all the way through because smoke is just lining the entire area. So first off, I need everybody to roll initiative for me.
Woo! All right, let's go.
First, here you go.
That's 14. We all have the same kind of dice.
All right.
Was that a D12? You just rolled. Oh, never mind.
All right, we got 20 and above. Anybody? No? 15 to 20.
18.
15.
19.
18.
Okay.
So 18. So Knarf.
I was 15, sorry.
Oh, so 18?
Yeah, 18, but Dara had 19.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Dara, Magvar, then Knarf.
18.
18 what?
Higher dex. What's your guys' dexterity modifier?
What'd you get?
No, this is you and...
Me and Kelly got...
Magvar and Mickey
Oh, okay. What do you guys get?
10, I think, is mine.
What's your dexterity?
My dex is +2.
+2? Alright, Mickey's before Magvar. So it goes Dara, Mickey, Magvar, Knarf. What do you get?
Only a 10.
A 10. So Yokai coming in on the tail. So let's go ahead. Start off. What you see is hard. You see smoke just coming out. Yeah, it's hard to even breathe just at the doorway. Even though that is started from the right side of the building, it is quickly growing and engulfing and taking up this entire space. You can't see very far. Even just standing on the exit, it is hard to breathe. So first up, Dara, you're standing there. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm standing, and I think I noticed that there's so much smoke, and I maybe just like rip off a piece of shirt and hold it up to kind of filter smoke, and
Nice idea.
And I walk right through the front door.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. If Yokai, if you could drag that center black piece backwards, I'll tell you to stop. When, keep going, keep going, keep going, stop. So, as you come through the door, you can go ahead and move your piece, your movement speed.
Oh, okay. So I have 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, okay, before I use it all, I would like to, at the entrance, yell out and say, "Can anyone hear me? Quick, please, where are you?"
Okay, so as you look in, what you see is a living room setup. You see that there is a small fire happening in the living room. You see that there's two chairs. You see that there's a couch to your left. It seems pretty docile. The lights are off. You can't see anything, especially beyond the smoke. It seems like it's being snuffed out. And you listen, and all you hear is the crackling embers in the distance that as just a raging, roaring fire is coming.
Okay, then, so that was like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I did not hear anyone yell.
Huh?
I didn't hear anyone.
No.
Okay,
Silence.
then I move my 30 feet, and can I see any other entryways?
So as you go past the couch, you see that there is 2 doors there. On the other side of the fireplace, directly to the right, you see that there is another door. And on the far side, you see where that thin black piece is. There's a hallway there. It is kind of hard to see as smoke is directly coming out of there, though.
Okay, smoke is directly coming out of where? I'm sorry?
Out of where that thin strip is, yes.
I see.
So on there's a door on to your left. There's 2 doors. Ahead of you, there's 1 door. To your right, there is a hallway.
Okay, Dara is going to check out. She's going to use the rest of. She's going to dash.
Okay.
And use the rest of her movement, and check out the closest door to her, which I guess would be here.
Yeah, that's correct.
So then 5, 10. Can I remove this?
As you go to the door, it's locked.
Okay. I want.
Also, up next is Mickey. Have a good idea what you want to do, buddy.
Can I try to kick the door down?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay. That is an 11.
11 total?
Mm-hmm.
Your foot meets it, and your knee gives a little bit. You guys hear a loud thud, but there is no give on that door, just with 11.
Okay. 15, 20. Is this another door?
Yes, it is.
Can I try to kick that one?
Huh?
Can I try to kick that one?
Yes, you can try to kick it.
Much better. That is an 18.
18. Wonderful. This wasn't even locked, and you just kick it open, and it just swings. Just
awesome.
Smack.
It was actually someone opening it.
Like, yeah. Awesome.
So okay, as the door opens, give me a perception check with disadvantage, as smoke is just immediately fills this area.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
Ooh, that is a 5.
A 5. I will say I won't take it back. Most time you can only do like one action, so that would have been 2 actions.
Oh, right.
But we're
right.
gonna let that happen for this time, just going forward. So, what'd you get total?
5.
5. This smoke is just making it too hard. You can't really see much. You see some furniture out and about, but the smoke's just overtaking your vision.
Got it.
So, that was your action, movement. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that's
Can we call
all.
that your bonus action since you did 2 doors?
Awesome.
All right. So, Mickey, you're up, followed by Magvar.
Okay, if I see Dara run into the house and all the traumatic stuff happening around, Mickey kind of like gives his boots like a little bit of like a hard step, and
Mhm.
it's kind of like spur-like devices kind of come down. It kind
That's
of
cool.
makes him just a lot quicker and move just a lot stronger and smoother like across any terrain. So he casts Long Strider.
Oh, nice.
And he's going to use 40 feet of movement to get into the house and try to see where Dara's at.
Cool. Can you read Longstrider to me real quick?
Yeah. Touch a creature, that target speed increases by 10 feet until it's balanced.
Perfect. Awesome. You get a little bit more gumption. You guys watch as Mickey puts his heels together and sparks just come off of them as they also just seem to like kick up into gear. Okay, go ahead, Mickey.
So I'm like kind of in the doorway.
Kind of in the doorway. All right, so you're right there. What else would you like to do?
Can I see Dara?
You do see Dara. You see that she is standing at an open door, and you see the door to the left of her is closed, and then also the living room that was described before. You hear the fire to the left, the crackling embers, and you see just almost the smoke is coming forward, and then you see just a huge engulfing of light that is starting to radiate from that area.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up my red scarf up over my nose, like pull a little tighter, and just try to get as close as I can, and use the rest of my action to just get all the way.
Okay, where are you trying to go?
To where the smoke is coming from.
Where the smoke was coming
Yeah.
from. Okay, go ahead and head that way. Okay, you can go ahead and lift that piece up real quick. So, if you could go ahead and right at that door frame,
Right here?
sorry, no, that, and yeah, go ahead and put a line of fire where you watch as there is just fire that seems to be crawling towards you guys as the smoke is growing, as well as the flames are just starting to move right towards where you are, Mickey. So that's both your movement. You dashed. You have a bonus action. What would you like to do? Or was there your bonus action to click your boots? I don't know what the mechanics are there.
I cast my spell, that was my action. And then I use my movement.
And then you dash?
And then I dash. Oh, yeah, I guess I was supposed to dash.
You're fine.
Okay.
I let it happen once.
Okay.
So I'll let it happen twice again.
Okay.
So you guys see ahead of you as the fire is starting to come. Next up is Magvar. And just remember, guys, you can also move in diagonal fashions too. Just
Okay.
let you know. Sorry.
So Magvar clicks off the protective panel on his chest, and it fits it to his arm like a shield, and there's the crackling dragon shard underneath. And he moves quickly to the door, just outside the space of it, and he yells, "Be bold!" and then casts Bless at a second level.
Oh, nice.
To hit. I think he's not gonna hit Knarf this time, but it's gonna be the rest of the four of us.
Okay. How's that work? I don't know if you'd be able to get everybody with the distance.
I believe the range is 30 feet.
So if you move forward, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to the door.
Okay, go to the door. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Yeah, you can get everybody if you're right there. You're right in between everyone. Cool.
So then he should have, I think, one space of movement left just to move on the inside of the door.
Okay, yeah. You go ahead and you're right into the door frame. So, that's your movement. And then, is that an action or bonus action for that?
It's an action to cast the spell.
Okay. You have a bonus action. Now, you guys all watch as Magvar goes and rips his plate off as a shield, as if he's getting ready for battle. And you hear him just boister to all of you. And you feel invigorated, you feel strong, and you feel bold. So, anything else you'd like to do, Magvar?
I know that I could, could I dash toward that door and try to throw myself through it?
You can certainly try. Let's see what this happens.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I'm going to say that you're just running full force. Mm-hmm. You might take damage depending on how it goes if you just run into that door like that. But yeah, you can dash into it. So go ahead, use your movement directly into the door ahead of you, and then go ahead and roll for me a athletics check.
Okay. Pardon me. Can I move your thing?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Knarf, if you could move him to that door directly in front of him, that'd be awesome. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll wait it.
Yep.
14.
14 total. You know, you get up and you scream, you bolster, you make everybody feel great, and you just run full force into this door. And you do, and you feel it give. You feel the hinges just pop off as you immediately fall down into it and you hit the ground. I'll say you go ahead and take just 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you break down the door, and what you're standing in is untouched by smoke, but you watch as it just comes filing through. There's a back door that's open that you're in. Also, you can go ahead and remove that. Yes. You see an open back door, and you see that you are now in the kitchen. There is a fire and then a stew that is boiling over onto the ground. Kind of smells good, but it also smells like burnt because of all the other smoke going on.
But that's not the source of the fire?
No.
Okay.
It seems as though somebody was in the midst of cooking dinner.
Okay.
So, that's all you got, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, next up is actually the fire and initiative. So,
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to do this.
Oh yeah, you guys are switched.
All right.
That's what you meant. My bad. I was trying
Frank?
to. Yes.
Or Knarf, excuse me. If you could take that fire and an additional one and add it, moving towards Mickey. Right down the hallway. Okay. Yep. Right down there. Mickey, you watch as the fire just starts to crawl and go up the walls. There's paintings of, you see the Goliath and some paintings he's made of his family that are being burnt up as it starts to crawl towards you. And the heat is just almost getting unbearable. It's about 10 feet away at this point. So, that is all that happens there. Next up is Knarf.
All right. I'd like to use 20% of my movement speed to get to the door.
Okay.
Or 20 of my movement speed, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
And then from there, I'd like to cast Bardic Inspiration on Mickey.
Okay, and is that a bonus action?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you go ahead and... How do you inspire Mickey?
There's a way I wanted to do it. I'm not sure I can. Let's see here. I look over to Mickey, and I see it getting brighter and brighter down the hallway, and I'm saying, hey, Mickey, that's hot? You're way hotter.
You can feel inspired by that, Mickey.
Blushing.
You got blushing. You don't know if it's the fire or the fire, but you are feeling good about it, man.
It's hot here.
All right, that is your movement and your bonus action. You have an action. So with your action, you can attack, you can cast some spells, you can dash and make another movement. What sounds like you would like to do?
Well, everybody's in there already, so I'm going to kind of hang back and just make sure it's cool. But in the time that I have, I want to cast Healing Word on Magvar.
All right.
Bludgeoning damage.
Perfect. Go ahead, and I believe you get to roll a hit die. Will you read that to me real quick?
Oh, yeah. We're going to go with that. Bam. Says a creature of your choice that you can see within range regains hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. The spell has no effect on the undead or constructs.
Okay. Roll a d4 and add your charisma modifier.
All right. We got there.
A little pyramid right there.
Ooh,
Yep.
That's the weird one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that if you step on it, you will. Especially these super
Dude, these are
sharp dice.
weapons.
If you step on this thing, you just die.
It will straight get embedded. These are so sharp, both in aesthetic and in appearance.
And my modifier is plus. Like which one do I use?
Your charisma.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, sweet. Let me grab what that number that is. Bam, bam, bam. All right, 6.
6. All right. So you get 6 hit points back.
Ooh. I didn't even miss that many.
That's what I say. Yeah, you immediately. How do
I feel
you,
juiced.
What's the words you say to heal him, Knarf?
I look over at Magvar and I just go, you're stronger than that door, aren't you? Bet you feel fine.
I'm stronger than the door.
And as you say that, you feel the fibers of the wood that's in your body that just got strained from hitting that just start to reconnect again, as if his words themselves brought vigor to you. So we are at Yokai.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna use dash as a bonus action to get into the house about as far as I can.
Okay.
So that would be a lot. Can you move me just right so it's like... You said diagonal, still 5?
Yes, that's correct.
Outstanding. 5, 10, 15, 20 through the door, 25, 30. Actually, I might not even need dash. I'm actually gonna cast Mage Hand to try and unlock this door for me so I don't have to touch it.
Okay, go ahead and let you guys watch as she waves her arms and this arcane hand just apparates and starts to go towards the door and you see another one start to come underneath it and it just appears with some thieving tools. Go ahead and roll a thieves tool check.
Okay.
Is that a 1?
Yep.
All right. So your tools go in, which is weird because it shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
but
weird,
as
right?
the tools go in, you watch as one of the tools snaps.
No.
And all of a sudden you just watch your mage hand go.
Mage finger.
Yeah.
Mage finger. So that was your action. What would you like to do? Bonus action at all?
That's a cantrip, so that's my whole action there. I don't know. I mean, I guess with my bonus action, can I try and yell and see if anybody can at least hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and yell again. So what is it you say?
So I'm hoping, maybe the mage hand made just a tiny bit of noise while it was screwing around with that thing and snapped off.
Okay.
And if there's, anyway, it's like, I'm trying with the lock, but is there anybody in this room? Can you hear me at all?
So what you don't hear, but you hear, is as another voice comes ringing through, you hear in a direction. Oh, you can go ahead and lift that. That's open. So yeah, I guess what you hear now. We're at the top of the order.
Mm-hmm.
It's your turn. You kind of look through and you see that there's a bed and a chest, and it seems like something from the bed, maybe underneath it. You hear.
From under the bed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to go in, and look under and see what I see.
As you go in, you look under, you see a young, probably 14, 15-year-old teenager, wide-eyed Goliath, half Goliath, just looking at you, bald head, wide-eyed. He's got his arms tied, his legs tied, and he has a rope tied around his mouth.
Oh, okay. I would like to drag him out from under the bed.
Okay.
And take, first off, like, free his mouth.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask, as I am, cutting the ropes and whatever from his hands and feet, who did this, where are they? And just start kind of grilling, like, what happened, where are the others?
Yeah, just real quick. He's like, I don't know. I couldn't keep my eyes open. It's like I couldn't wake up, and then I woke up and this is happening. Where's my dad?
Say, okay, calm down. Just try to focus on breathing slowly. Don't waste your air. And I think I take the cloth that I was using for myself and give it to him.
Okay.
And then I would like to, if possible, help him up and start to.
And you said you cut his restraints.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I call that all your action that you do that. You can't, I would say, dragging him out and everything, you may be able to get to the door frame, but he is, slowly moving.
Yeah,
So-
and I think I just tell him to go.
Okay, so he is at the door frame. You go ahead and watch as he immediately, he looks around. He's very confused and very scared. He sees all of you in there, but he sees the door and it's like currently being blocked by you. So he like runs up to you and he's just like, and like ducks and like crawls between your legs to get out of the house. Yeah. All right. So next up, we have, that was Dara, Mickey, followed by Magvar.
Alright, so Mickey is not afraid of fire. He spends a lot
You
of
like the
time on
heat.
it.
Yeah.
That's hot boy energy.
Yeah. He sees a fire and he kind of, grins at it, and I'm gonna just, actually, I'm gonna smile at it, and I'm gonna like pull my jacket in tight and cast shield.
Oh, okay. The heat that is like almost, you feel like singeing off some of your eyebrows immediately cools. Not like a fresh air, but just as if you're standing in the middle of a field with no breeze. It's not overbearing to you anymore, but you weren't scared before. You're definitely not scared now, Mickey.
I'm just gonna charge through the fire.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's not traditionally how it's used, but I like it so much, we're gonna roll with it, okay? So I will say, for this round, you will not be taking fire damage as it is just being torn away from the flames. So do what you need to do, Mickey.
Okay. So I got. So 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, I'd be pretty far inside the room.
Okay, go ahead and open it.
Okay.
All right. So, what you see, Mickey, you guys watch as Mickey, Magvar, you specifically, I actually don't think anyone else sees this, just Magvar, because the way everybody's angled. You watch as Mickey looks back at you, gives you a smirk, and you see a shimmer just appear from his feet to his head as you watch him just step into the flames untouched as he goes in, and he's now just disappeared into the fiery embers. Where you are, what you see is the full inferno of this house. This is where it started. You are in a garage, and you see that there is a bike directly to your right. It looks like there's a spot for two of them. One is gone, and you see that there is just fire, just consumed everything. Everything here is tarnished. And you look straight ahead of you, and you see that there is like a loom, like a machine that is used for like crocheting and knitting. You see fabrics that are being burnt down on the walls. You see that there is clothes that have been handmade sitting on a table to the left that are just being turned into kindling for this fire. And what you see was probably the source of this is in the corner. You see that there is this small furnace that has been just consumed and doused in some sort of ignition, that this was not organic. So that is what you see ahead of you. What do you do?
Okay. I just want to look around and I see if there's anybody who's in there.
Give me a perception check.
When can I give him the inspiration dice?
Oh, now if you like. As soon as you sing.
Perception, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was 10.
10? You don't see anybody. You don't really even, and this is pretty open. And you're pretty concerned for anybody that would be in here, including yourself, because the fire is so far around you. You know that if you're here again, you're about to get ate up with it too. There's fire that is, it's blocked off the garage door. It's blocked off the door behind you. It has consumed everything around you. So, what else would you like to do? Oh wait, so that was it. That was your movement. That was your action.
You said, can't dash as a bonus action.
You cannot dash as a bonus action.
Then, I think that's it.
All right, so next up we're Magvar.
Do I see any doors into the rooms from this hallway?
Correct. There is a door on the right side of the hallway, and then as you are in the kitchen, there's a door directly on the right side that is closed.
Oh, like there's a door.
Yes.
Here that goes into there.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna just try to break that door down.
All right. So you go over and you start to do the same thing. You start to go over, but first you grab the handle. It's not locked.
Okay. Well, then I open the door.
Break it anyway.
All right. You open that door. This is. Go ahead.
I did. That right?
Yeah. Go ahead and open
Take
that.
it in.
You guys see a kitchen table that has been set for 4. You see that there's no food in any of the bowls or anything, but it seems it's prepped and ready. You see that there is smoke coming underneath, as there is a door directly to the right of you as well, and smoke is coming underneath it. So,
is that door unlocked?
You go over and check it, and you open it, and you're in the hallway.
And then can I see a door across the hallway?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna open as many doors as I possibly can.
Yeah. Just keep opening them.
And I feel like
I'm gonna give you that was your 2.
That was my 2. Oh.
So you can't keep just open. Well,
can I throw myself through this one?
You know what? I like it. Sure, fuck it.
All right. You get a bonus action. You get a bonus action.
Yeah.
Everyone gets at least one since.
Do you want me to roll athletics again?
Correct.
Okay. 9.
9, not quite enough. As you go and you smack into the door, yeah, you're stuck there. Yeah. You take another 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you're just smacked by the door. This one caught you a little off guard. You're getting a little used to just opening doors, actually. So, there's that. I think that you're pretty much done.
Yeah, that was it.
So then it is the fire's turn. It only has one direction it can go. And it is, go ahead if you wanted to grab another one of those and put it on the butt end of that.
Same deal.
Yep.
All right. Let's get close.
All right. I need, I need you to, actually no, you don't start your turn or end your turn there. But the fire, you just watched as it just rushes towards you as you are at this door trying to bust it down. And the fire at this point is like directly beside you.
Okay.
So, next up is Knarf.
All right. I am, this is a tough one here. I'm going to try and at least run over to where I can get in this area here so I can see at least everybody that I can see.
Okay. Go ahead. You put yourself wherever you like within your speed.
Okay. All right, that gives me direct here, here, and here.
Okay.
And I would like to, if I can, do the... I guess I'm going to do that same thing again if I can, because I don't have anything else to actually do. Can I do a healing word? Or the Bardic Inspiration?
Yes, you can do either.
That's the one, the Bardic Inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration?
On Magvar.
To Magvar.
Okay,
all right.
cool.
That's what I want to do.
Noted. What is it you say? Or how do you inspire him? You don't have to say something.
How would I inspire him? I look over at Magvar, and since I've run up there, he knows that I'm there. And I look at him and I'm just like... And that look means You're stronger than everything in this room, you tin can. Make it happen.
That's a hell of a look, man.
The pressing situation of the fire directly. Mickey just ran into the fire. You can't open this door down. You know there's 2 other people in this house, and you've only saved 1, guys. So he looks at you and is like, "It's not time to fuck around with the door, Magvar." But you feel you're like, "I gotta get shit done now." So,
Thank
next up is Yokai.
Me.
What would you like to do?
I am wildly frustrated with this mage hand. That should have just gone very easily. And I kind of like cast it back to myself and just frustrated like run up and just start trying to pick the lock myself.
Okay.
If it's broken off in the door, I mean...
As you look in, it didn't break off in the door. It seemed to have broken and fallen out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm going to get all the way up here. Can I break up my dash action? Or is it just one line? Like, can I go 30 and then like another 30 after?
Yeah. You can, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it would be an action to do the door.
Right.
So
but
you wouldn't
dash
be able
is
to...
bonus action. So
Oh yeah, rogue stuff, man.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So get to the door, and I'm gonna just unlock it with my hands and my my creepy living gloves.
Okay.
That are on my hands all the
All
time.
right. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay. What is that? Oh, 6.
I find myself I'm like,
Yeah. It's like it's a 9. It's a 6. That is 14.
14 is
Yep.
just enough.
Perfect.
So just enough as it takes you a little bit longer than you want, but you manage to be so aggravated, you hit all the tumblers and it goes up and opens. And what you see in front of you, go ahead and open that.
Don't want to go in just yet.
Yeah. You see a young boy that is sitting on the bed who is tied up, and he is just looking at you.
Is there any active flames in this room?
No. It seems like it's all coming from the other side.
Got it. Okay. I know I can't do much else, but I want to just get to him and just kind of put my arms over him.
Okay, easy enough. You run over and you go ahead and pick up. He's probably he's a half-life boy. He's like probably 6 or 7 at this point.
Okay.
So, all right. Next up, we got that's Yokai Dara. We're at the top of the order one more time.
Awesome. Okay, so he gets out, and I would like to exit this room. 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. And on what side is this door? That's like that next. This is exactly right here.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay. And I think as I kind of go towards where Magvar and Knarf are, I'm going to ask, has anyone else gotten out yet? To both of you.
No, I haven't seen anyone.
Neither have I. I've seen nothing.
Okay. And then Dara would like to hold an action until... You know what? No. Dara is going to dash and go out the door, actually. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can I see if there is a window? And I know that's like my action, but I want to see, are there any windows that I could easily break open on the outside of this house?
Yes, there is a window over there. So, yeah, there's a window on the outside of that room.
Okay.
None of us thought of that. We just ran into a burning building.
Yeah, well, look at us.
I mean, to be fair, Dara's the one that did that. Now Dara's the one that's like, hey.
I have an idea.
And that's all that I can do, actually.
So I will say, actually, you were right by those bushes. You can see from the angle you're at. Give me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
Disadvantaged.
Disadvantaged?
Yeah, just because there's smoke in this room now.
Got it. 1 moment. Oh, and we have Bless right now, don't we?
Yes. Everybody but Knarf.
I mean, that's only for attacks and saves, though.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's correct.
And okay, goodbye.
You're gonna need it when you step on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a 12.
A 12? It's hard to see as you're looking through the smoke, but luckily, like, it hasn't fully taken over this room yet. But what you do see is that there is a woman that is on a bed, and you're going to presume that it's probably the mother or, his wife, whomever, and you see her struggling with her binds that she is tied with on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So she is conscious and wherewithal.
Mm-hmm.
So next up, or is there anything else you can do?
I think I'd like to try to at least yell loud enough to say, "There's a woman in this room." Like, Magvar, there's a woman in this room. If you could get in somehow through there, I'm gonna try here too, and just like maybe both work at the same time to try to get into this room. But just kind of like trying to yell loud enough to give a heads up.
Okay.
But then that is all Dara can do. For my turn.
Mickey, you're up, buddy. First off, starts on you. You do go ahead as your shield has been chewed away by the fire that's turning and consuming around it. You take, ooh, that's cocked. All right, you take 6 points of fire damage as now the flames that are surrounding you are just now searing your flesh and start to boil your body.
Okay. I'm gonna run back through the hallway.
Okay. How many feet of movement is it as
40.
you get in there? 40?
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and count. Okay. Go ahead and make your movement.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And if this is the only room that's left unopened, I'm gonna try to go into this room.
Okay. Go ahead and however you're gonna try and kick it open. What are you gonna try and do? Try and open it?
I'm gonna try to open it first.
Okay.
He's got thick leather gloves.
Yeah. You quickly grab the doorknob and open it up. It was not locked.
Okay.
But you do take a pretty severe amount of fire damage as you are running through these flames.
Okay.
So.
Do not like to stop that.
Mm-mm.
One more. You take 10 points of fire damage. As you were literally feeling, you were like, your hair, your beautiful red hair is just like in patches as you get into here. Your eyebrows are just completely gone. But you see Magvar just get done hitting this door, and you look at him like, coming from flames.
I get just very
casual.
How badass.
And I just turn the doorknob and just push.
All right, and what you see in there, you can go ahead and take that off.
Okay.
You see a woman who is fighting with her restraints over and over, and she sees you, and you see her struggling with the rope on her mouth, and just in time she yanks it down. Come cut these things. I need to get out here.
Is there anybody else in the room?
It does not look like it. No.
Was that opening the door count as my action or my bonus action?
I would say your bonus action.
Bonus action?
Minimally. You just moved because it wasn't locked or anything.
I'll use my action to try to get to her as much as possible.
Now,
help her as much as I
okay.
can.
Yeah, you can use your action to dash to get closer.
Okay,
to her.
great. So yeah, I'm just gonna put myself and try to
Okay.
get to help her. However.
All right. So, you go over and you grab a blade. Or you do have any blades at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You walk over and you grab your blade out. So next up is Magvar. You're up.
Okay.
The door's open.
The door is open. Just for clarity, did he cut her restraints?
He has not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, that's all you can do over there.
Magvar moves into the room and he kind of strides with a purpose, and he grabs her, like her hands are bound like this, right?
Uh-huh.
He grabs her arm and he like lifts her up and says, "Cover your face." And then he turns toward the window and he just tries to chuck her out through the window.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Right?
It is not open. Nope. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
I'm gonna try to do it so that her face doesn't go through the window first. I'm not trying to kill her. I just want to throw her through the window to rescue her.
Okay.
Yeah, ass first.
Okay, you try. This is athletics check. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is athletics check?
Yeah.
Can I throw her like I would an attack?
I need to see if you're able to toss a human the way you would attack something.
Fair.
That bardic info.
Come on, do me good. Oh yeah. Let me see. Just to be clear, 29.
Somehow she gets yeeted through, fucking through the window. And I'll say with, the way the fire's moving, the way the situation's going, you guys have found everybody. We don't have to be in combat anymore. So you guys, what is it you do, Yokai, with this child? And what is it you do as soon as you yeet an entire human from a window?
I think
I move to. I'm like, Mickey, take my hand, and then I gesture at the window again.
I'm like, totally beat the shit.
Yeah, you're fucked up, man. He kind of looks like a Two-Face, like after he gets out of the fire, though.
Which side? Well, which side of his body is burnt?
What do you look like, Mickey?
I'm like cartoon coughing out smoke. I got like steam, anime steam coming off me, and I got like big soot around my eyes like a Dalmatian.
All right. So, what do you guys do? Do you yeet him? Do you just go out? Do you guys just leave the house? What is happening? Because the fire's still growing.
Yeah, I mean, are we in combat? Sort of out?
No,
of
you're
combat?
out of combat.
Okay.
No.
Then I would do my best to help you get out of that window as quickly as possible.
Okay, it's broken now.
There's no glass there anymore.
So it's been broken. She took. You get out of the window and you see that she is wonderfully unconscious next to her husband. The half-elf woman has seemed to also be, babying her. You do see respirations in the body. That she's not dead. You fucked her up though, but you did it. You got her safe. She's not dead.
I would say that I saved her.
Yeah, that's a way to frame it.
That is one way to frame it. Dara, I think, screamed to Magvar and then just sees a woman shoot out of the window right in front of her.
Is that what you meant?
I was like,
I found her.
Not exactly what I meant, but okay. And I think I would like to cast Lay on Hands on her.
Okay. Yeah.
And what that looks like for Dara is she takes the flask that she keeps holding to her thigh and whips it out and just puckers her mouth like this and pours the wormwood liquor into her mouth, and it heals her for I'm going to give her 7 points.
7 points? Oh, you watch the glass just be pushed out of her body despite the coughing that comes up while she's been forced this ichor down her gullet. But she seems stable and she's coming to. And she sees you guys come out with her kids. She sees her son there. She sees you. Oh!
Yeah, how big is a 6-year-old? Size-wise.
Size-wise, I mean. Probably.
Can I football him, or do I have to?
No, he's big boy. He's half Goliath. So
Oh, he's half Goliath.
He's half Goliath. Yeah.
I mean, can I lift him? That's not my strong suit.
I'd say that you can manage to get his restraints cut and everything, and he will.
Yeah, if we have enough time, I'll slice him with my dagger real quick and just drag him kind of half running up there.
Yeah, he almost starts dragging you because he wants out of this so bad.
Yeah.
As he immediately just gets out. You guys all manage to make your way out of this location. Actually, as you guys are walking out, there's a piece of the framing of the house falls down into the fire. It starts to just be completely engulfed, as it seems like this might be a lost cause for this domain. But you guys are all safe and out of the house. It seems that the man that you were going to tattoo is still out on the ground. You see his wife kind of consoling him, and you see that she's grabbed her kids and they got in a big old hug, and thank you so much. What can I do to say thank you?
Oh, I mean, you don't have to do anything for us. I mean, we just do it for, just trying to be as heroic as we can. Your husband promised us 1,000 gold. Does that sound?
You see her roll her eyes and starts petting his head. You fool. That was everything we had. I will make sure that you get paid. I promise. If we could meet on the morrow.
Today? Okay.
I'll tell you what. He's passed out. Take his motorcycle as collateral.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. He will come looking for that.
Do you have any aloe? Start wiping my
yeah, actually, you like wipe it and there's like skin off. And she goes, yeah, and just as she says it, like a explosion comes out of the front door. No, not right now. I'll go to the store tomorrow and make sure that you have some.
It's great. It's awesome. It's cool.
So
I'm just starting the motorcycle. I'm like, make we have some back at the shop. Come on, buddy.
All right. So as you go and you kickstart the motorcycle, you guys watch her just take off. You guys start lumbering. It's nightfall. You guys were in there just as the sun started to set. It's early night, but it's nice. The desert sounds are accompanying you. The wind is blowing right in your face, Yokai, as you are just, you've had a little bit of experience with some motorcycling. So,
a little bit.
But something is interesting. You see papers flying by you. You're like, what the fuck? And then one hits you on the chest. And you pull it and it says, help, 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 help.
Yeah, I'm just
written
gonna kinda,
all down it.
Like shift down a little bit, kind of slow down, and I'm just like, I'm half reading it, I'm just like kind of getting a little wobbly as I'm just like, and I'm just gonna kind of like skid it to a little Akira anime stop if I can. And
yeah,
I had to, right?
Yeah.
And do I recognize the handwriting?
This looks just like the handwriting from the bird. And it's strange because the ink used to be black. It's red now.
Oh, not good, not good, not good. Okay, do I know, I kind of took off there. Do I know how far behind everybody else is or how close I am to the shop?
You know that you're probably just on this motorcycle, just a minute or two.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kick it back.
So you kick it, and as you're going, you see papers flying back and forth, as there seems to be just I won't say endless, but a large number of papers as one hits you again, and it's just covered in the word help over and over. And as you start to ride up on the incubus, you see that there is a body laying outside on the stoops, prone on its back. And you see, as you pull up, you see that it is the same individual that was sitting in Hellbent's chair earlier, laying on the ground. On the chest and torso of him is the bird dipping into a wound on his chest, writing over and over and over. You look up at the incubus, the lights are off. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. All right.
Stop, I have chills.
Fully wrapped in.
I have actual chills.
Chills
all
on
right.
the motorcycle.
Thank you all.
For now. Not keeping it, of course.
Weird flex, man.
Weird flex. Dude, thank you guys. You guys did so awesome.
Thanks.
Loving all this, and thank you to all of our sponsors, Beetle and Grimm, for allowing us to use the Eberron set, and everybody who has contributed to make this possible. The winner of the box will be contacted as soon as we're able to, and they'll make sure that you guys get your good old Eberron back, your gold Eberron box. It is amazing. I have 2 of them just because my home game is also Eberron. There's so many goodies in it. Be sure to subscribe and to share, and to be sure to tell all your friends about your first travel on the Incubus. We'll see you next week for episode 2. Until next time, thank you guys so much.
Woo!
Ready to get tattooed?